Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in negative territory this morning after a record-setting performance to kick off the brand new trading week last week. We had all three U.S. equity indexes back in record high territory on Friday. S&P 500 1.8% to gain on the week last week. We had both the Dow and the NASDAQ up as well, 1.6% and 2.4% respectively. Thoughts of more stimulus coming after a Democratic sweep of Congress lifted markets heading into the weekend. A little bit of underlying negativity this morning. We have a number of names moving to the downside. We're going to talk about a few individual names, including NEO this morning, not moving to the downside, back in record high territory. In fact, JP Morgan with an upgrade on NEO this morning and a price target increase after NEO Day over the weekend. They also announced they're going to team up with NVIDIA to continue developing autonomous driving technology. We'll have a look at NVIDIA as well, also in positive territory in the pre-market. And speaking of EV news, Baidu set to open at 2.5-year highs, also regarding electric vehicles. It's Monday, January 11th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Nice look here for Japan. First off, 2.3% to the upside. Everything else, a little change. We had the Nifty in India putting in a nice performance. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. Red numbers across the board here, kind of following U.S. futures to the downside. The Swiss market bucking the trend there a little bit, 0.6% to the upside. We'll shift over and have a look at North American futures here. Yeah, pretty red top to bottom here. Both the S&P and down about 0.7%. The NASDAQ 0.8% leading the way so far. Brazil Open trading down about 1%. We're going to talk a lot about cryptocurrencies, I feel, today. 16.8% just today on Bitcoin. We'll touch on that coming up, but big move over the weekend, back from all-time highs. Crude oil lower this morning. We have gold to the upside ever so slightly, 0.8% for gold. So it was an interesting weekend, I should say. Good morning, guys. For cryptocurrencies, to say the least. You see Bitcoin there, 16.8%. To the downside. We topped out around 42,000. We're back around that 34,000 mark this morning.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah, we just broke 20,000. So, I mean, you know, it seems like a heck of a lot, and you'll see so many headlines, 15, 16% to the downside. And there's not always a ton of perspective that comes into that. You know, if you're going to go up and double in that short of a time frame, and even if you think about the second breakout from like 28, 29 all the way up, you know, these things can happen when it comes to corrections. That's not the only thing that happened this weekend. I mean, of course, NEO Day has this puppy running to, well, looking at 65 in change right now, very, very close to the pre-market highs, 11.5%. It was like 8 or 9 when I sat down, just shy of the 10% mark. So again, this name, it tends to be the big time runner. It'll be hard to wipe a smile off my face this week because my Bills are going to be going on next week into the playoffs, and strong like a bull is Josh Allen. He is the Neo of quarterbacks. That's what I'm calling him now.
Except for when he fumbles, I guess. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was a good game, man.
Made some, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, made a little bit of money this weekend on that one, and then was not expecting Pittsburgh last night to start out 28-0, but okay, yeah, Packers this weekend. Look, Neo's going to be exciting. A Tesla today as well, near 880 again, looking for its 12th straight up day. And yeah, Bitcoin, Brendan, I mean, down right now, 33 and change. Ether, 1,000 and change. So we're looking to get going on that one. AMC also here. I just wanted to show you the imbalance locator on NIO. 2.3 million shares today to the buy side. So lots happening there. We traded IPOE on Friday as well. We'll look to that today. And then Boeing, again, like, they can't get out of its own way here. Boeing looks like it's going to be down another 4% today off of, yet again, more trouble in the skies. So Boeing, I mean, who knows, man? When you're in this business, you are going to run into some problems, and it looks like Boeing once again doing that with another accident sky side there. So yeah, we'll trade everything, Brendan, and we're excited to have Mark, I guess, today as well come through. So it's going to be a big day for us.
Yeah, very tragic to hear that over the weekend. It was a 737-500 jet, not the MAX, that had been grounded, but another crash for Boeing. So yeah, more negativity to come. Unfortunately, 4% as we saw there to the downside this morning for Boeing. Before we get into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hey guys, I wish you a great start of the trading week, and please subscribe to this channel, hit thumbs up, and let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared back on Friday. Another great day for a lot of people here. It would appear 33,000 coming out of number one there. Again, a nice mix of markets here, anywhere from the OTC to the TSX Venture Exchange, which is the junior exchange, or one of the junior exchanges here in Toronto. More U.S. numbers here, 26,000, number two, 23,000 in number three. We got to go all the way down to number 8. BOVESPA, 1,800 coming out of Brazil back on Friday. So another great day for traders here right across the board. Why don't we start things off, guys, with a look at Boeing here. Not on the list this morning, although we are down significantly, as we said. Again, yeah, tragic news over the weekend coming out. I guess it was Saturday morning, 737-500 crashing. They're still investigating this. Obviously, nothing is really known at this point as to why or how this happened. I actually read a report this morning that said some of the pieces that they pulled out of the water were actually from a Chinese drone. So who knows? I mean, we'll see what happens as this develops.
Chinese drone.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, I guess it's technically possible that you could have had like a collision with a drone. I mean, who knows? It's all speculation at this point. It's not the MAX, but it's certainly not going to be a good thing for Boeing, which was in this. I don't know, like it's not really a tailspin or anything, but it was in this like slight, slow little pullback. Going back into late last year in December. If we break this 200 mark, and again, anything could come out. Like there could be news that comes out middle of the day, or more likely in the next couple of days that has this stabilizing for whatever reason. But in the event that we break at 200, there were some fantastic levels around 175 to 185 going into the end of last year that maybe we can wait around for here. It's certainly going to be unfortunate, but again, we do not know the cause of this, and it's not the MAX. So as much as I think there's going to be a bit of a shorting opportunity today in Boeing, possibly even through like a 200 level, or if we get a chance to maybe fade back into this like 204, 205, I think those are going to be some good shorting opportunities. It just doesn't mean that it's going to be some catastrophic. They're going to go down 10% in one day. I'm not sure that I see that necessarily happening.
Yeah, I'm long Boeing. You guys know that, about 216 and change. We've talked about it. I've disagreed, not disagreed, but Mark was calling it a sell. I was thinking it was more of a buy. And then, of course, yeah, I can't predict airplanes crashing, but that is part of the risk here. And the thing about it, too, is if we change this to the ES, right, the market's struggling right now. And Boeing's going to go down with that. Boeing is still a reopened trade, and you're going to see stocks like CCL down today. Boeing's going to be down today. Some of these reopened stocks, there's CCL down that 1.95%. So I just think that you can support Boeing a little bit at certain levels, but I mean, until more news comes, Brendan, I just think that this is a no trade for me, because we don't know. Like Neil mentioned, or you mentioned there, if the drone, gets into the engine there and the engine well, boom, causes it to crash, that's obviously not going to be a direct negative aspect towards Boeing, more towards flight and the protection of airways, I guess. So you know what? Let's just wait to see on Boeing. I'm not going to average into my long, and I'm probably not going to trade it until we see some news hit the wires, and then we can finally do it. Because honestly, if it comes out that Boeing's really, not at fault here, and there's nothing that they could have done, then I think we can revisit 207, 208 today, almost instantly when that happens. But remember, the market's still down that 1%, and Boeing is aggressive to the downside when the market's down right now because it's a reopened trade. So for me, honestly, I'm going to stick away from Boeing until we get a more definitive news on what exactly happened to that plane.
All right, guys, let's have a look at some of these blockchain stocks back on the watch list this morning. A little bit of a negative look. I was just going to bring up a chart here of Bitcoin so we can see. Yeah, this is the move here. here. This is 42,000 at the top. We're all the way back to right at 33. Actually, just broke 33 to the downside here. So, yeah, a bit of a free fall underway for Bitcoin. We can, touch on individual names coming up here in a bit, but just general thoughts here. I mean, obviously very extended going into the weekend. So this
go back to that
to be
chart?
expected.
Like, what was that high?
Sure.
Like, what was that peak there? Yeah, what day was that? Over to the left. Sorry. That little peak to the left a couple days ago. No,
this here?
Yeah, that. What price is that? That's 30.
Around 32.
Yeah, so I think
so 31.75.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that right there and a little bit lower, the 30 grand mark as well. So you know what? Like, Bitcoin's going to do what it's going to do, man. It's going to dance around. I did see someone talk about GBTC and QBTC. Shout out to Lucas. QBTC there is also a name to look at on the Canadian side if you're looking at something similar. And I think Lucas went over, I think it's 0.0001, something like that, percentage of a Bitcoin in one of these ETFs. Mara is going to be a name to trade today. Neil and Lewis talked about that last week. I went back and forth with Mara, with Riot. BTBT is another blockchain name there. And what's up to Shakib? We talked about BTBT on Friday, and I said to you that it could get to 28, 29, maybe even $30 there on Friday. It does that spike before coming all the way back down. And remember what we said, if these coins aren't following Bitcoin to begin with, then what's going to happen when Bitcoin comes down? These things are going to get rocked, right? And so you have to remember what you're doing, what you're trading, and why you're trading them. So for me, BTBT 275,000. I'd rather stick with something like Mara that's already done 3.5 million shares. Sorry, downside here of 21.22. It's just funny because we were here on Thursday and the price of Bitcoin wasn't near here on Thursday. That's why we went back to look at that chart again, Brendan. So I don't know. You just got to watch spot Bitcoin, and if it starts taking off, then I think you got to get aggressive again in Mara. And just looking at 23.50 here, that's a stop level there. That's a stop level here. But again, without doing too much research, like, I'd rather trade the physical Bitcoin. I know we don't have it on our platform, but you'll often see me doing things on the side. So I think if you guys wanted to trade, I would trade the physical coin. But if you're looking at Mara, then wait for Bitcoin to get going and punch through this 23.50 level.
Yeah, I mean, if it does fall any further, I mean, you sort of talked about the idea that you could, just shy of this, get a little bit of a bottom, and then maybe that gives you like a 20 to 21 area on Mara. But the liquidity is definitely key. The only concern I would have with Mara is a couple of times last week, liquidity dried up. On some dips, there was one dip which I think was pretty solid liquidity-wise, and then the second one a little bit later on in the session, liquidity dried up a lot. So that's my only cautionary tale there for Mara. It does start to open up when Bitcoin gets in the bigger moves. That works both ways. If it starts screaming to the upside, you might see the offer evaporate as well. But you got to track the spot price, and if we are bouncing off 33,000 here, I should say, there is a decent shot for that breakout in Mara. Although I like when it consolidates and then breaks from a consolidation after the open.
All right, we'll bring in Mark Roberts here and have a look at the overall market, see what his thoughts are heading into a brand new trading week. We did have record-setting performance for equities last week. Mark, good morning. Another week, another Monday here. What are you looking at so far this morning?
Well, the sell-off, whether it's attributable to Boeing or just the fact that the bands have gotten a bit extended, so we're overbought. I'm looking for 36.85, 36.73 with an eventual target of 36.52 on the S&P futures, and right now we're at 37.85. I see more selling coming in. Also, we've got earnings coming up in the next few days in the banks. They'll be generally good. There'll be good announcements. But I think this week you're going to be using good news to sell.
Yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on earnings here, Mark, going into earnings season. We saw, because of the pandemic and because of the headline risk throughout the last earnings season, and specifically the reporting season, a lot of these reports were kind of just brushed to the side because of what was happening on a global scale. Do we see that again this time, or can we put more, weight into some of these reports?
I think you can put a little bit more weight into some of the reports, but on balance, we still have that euphoria of the vaccine is going to start spreading through the public. I know New York and other places are now extending the vaccine usage into the 75 plus. My guess is that starts dropping into the 65-year-old plus. We had so much disorganization in the last few days where vaccines were near expiration and many people were not getting it. There's just been too much disinformation, but I think we're back on track.
Yeah, it's good to hear. I mean, we had our biggest health network here in Toronto over the weekend came out and said that they actually ran out on Saturday, so they have no more, which is a good problem to have in this case. I take it anyways, and they'll get their second delivery coming up at some point this week. So as we await more vaccine and as we await more positive catalysts here, we'll continue to see where the overall market goes. I'll bring in Neil and Sean here, and we'll talk about more individual names.
Hey, Mark, how's it going, my friend?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Last week you sent us a note, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this last week, but 3D, I know we talked a little bit about that as well personally. So this name, again, it was an interesting name that you had emailed the three of us about during the show. What exactly did you see in 3D here? And I just want to bring it up to try to educate some of our viewers a little bit. Here's the 3-minute chart going back to last Thursday, where it was basically sleeping. And we talked about it being left for dead at $11 or $12. And then all of a sudden, this thing explodes on Thursday to 25, bounces back down, touches 20 again. And then on Friday, we explode again to 31, 32 before closing eventually, 23, 24. And it looks like today, on not too much volume, but still 280,000 shares. Are we to expect a squeeze on this stock again? Or what is your take here on 3D? And maybe more importantly, what brought this to your attention?
What brought it to my attention is the fact that when it gapped into 12 and opened up on that good news, I've known for a long time that it had a large short interest.
Okay.
And any of those stocks, you always nibble a little bit on those first gaps.
Okay.
Keep a tight stop if you're wrong. But if you can withstand a little pain, whether it's 100, 500, 1,000 shares, whatever your threshold is,
right, I
think it's a winner.
So I have the daily chart up here, Mark, and I don't know if you do as well, or if you can see the screen here. But so this is that gap up here, like 11 to 12 or 13. Like if someone gets in a little bit late, 17, 18, 19, somewhere in around here, they notice the news, they see your note, maybe we're trading it on the show and they're in here, and then you say that sometimes it's maybe worth holding to see what that gap is. But if I'm stuck here at 17, 18, 19, does someone hold it to something like this kind of a high back in February? Like I'm just wondering, with your experience, obviously a great amount of it, you've seen these stocks go parabolic and maybe not come back, and some that keep going. Like we saw Tilray go to 300 or 250, whatever that was. Not that 3D's doing that, but if someone's stuck long here, I mean, it's a good trade right now, 18, 19, 20. How far back do you give it? Do you give it back to where sort of the news came out, like these opening spots? So do you give like 7 to try to make 7 or 8? Like what is kind of the strategy there when you see a stock gap like this?
What happens is you get your 1, 2, 3 surges, if you will. Okay. There's usually a small pullback. It's that first pullback of some meaningful move. So let's say 25 down to 19.
Yep, right here, yep.
I'm in.
Okay, so you wait for the pullback to come, you wait for like a base to set up. The thing is, this actually looks a lot like the daily charts that I look for, where you get some consolidation bases there, and then once it breaks out, you get in. So I think that's a great call there. So you wait for a 25, you wait for it to pull back, consolidate a bit, and then go here at 20 and a half, and then maybe even use this consolidation point at that point as you're out. I think that's a very, very risk adverse move, and I actually really like that play. I would have allowed you to enjoy all the way up here to 30, 31. What if someone's in this stock right now, Mark, at this price, 22, 23? Do we use 19 maybe here as the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the cluster at the bottom. But traditionally, if you're short term, taking some off at the peaks is critical.
Yeah.
So 28, probably I would have taken some off. I probably wouldn't have gone back in because you're in the middle of a range
right
on a
now.
Friday afternoon.
Yep.
So I'd be waiting for my inflections back to 19, 20,
Okay.
to add back in.
Okay, that's good, Mark. Yeah, that's what I was going to look at. We'll check that out. Good call. I don't know if Neil wants to go over Boeing, but I want to say you were talking about it maybe heading back down to 170, 180, and then we get a little bit of negative news there. We don't know the cause of the crash there, but there was one again over the weekend on Boeing. I've just given the advice right now to traders to stay away from this stock. I'm long at 216. I'm not going to be averaging in here until we get more information on what exactly happened with the flight. People are saying maybe it was a Chinese drone they ran into, a U.S. drone. Doesn't matter what kind of a drone it was, but I don't know if that happens. That's not a negative sign towards the stock, in my opinion, just more towards the industry and some of the risks that are there. What do you think about Boeing right now? To me, it's a no trade until we get more information.
Yeah, it's a no trade. What I read before you had mentioned the drone was that it was a 27-year-old plane,
Okay.
not a MAX. And that's a problem too, because traditionally, most airlines, when they can afford it, start front-loading newer planes when they start hitting 22 to 24 years.
Okay.
So this was at the back end.
All right.
And the other side of it is, with the market down, this stock will probably trade 200,
Yeah.
210 through most of the day.
Yeah.
But it's eventually going to 184.
Okay, that's what I was that's what I was saying to the traders today is that it's also a reopened stock, right? And so as the market keeps coming down, Boeing will come down. I drew this little ellipse here between 220 and 200. Seems it can't get out of its way. I agree with you that if it does come down, we're looking at 180. Thank you, Mr. Roberts, my friend.
Yeah, I tend to think it's going to be a day trade type of opportunity to the short side there, Mark. But I want to ask you about Eli Lilly here because obviously I'm not going to look. Brendan can pronounce their Alzheimer's drug correctly. I'll take a shot at it. Donanemab. I don't know if you can say it correctly here, but look, fantastic news coming out of this trial. If you look at this overall space, a lot of the big names are actually involved in the vaccine plays, and that's been the leading news. Whether it's J&J here, just now with positive news as well with theirs, and then you're also looking at Pfizer starting to slow down and be a very lazy stock is the best way I want to put it. AstraZeneca slowing down a little bit here. Eli Lilly breaking out, got to 200 pre-market. Suddenly I'm looking at this pullback at like 190. We're at halfway between this 175 break, and the question becomes, this is fantastic news, and you need it in this space to get the catalyst running. It's how much of a dip are you looking to even buy here? Or is it just worth even taking a bit of this break and thinking that we're going to settle above 200 eventually?
Again, look for clusters, whether it's previous tops, whether it's a previous middle bottom. You can buy a little bit, but you have to appreciate the fact that if something gaps up 15 points and you're pulling back to the first cluster, you could hit the second cluster, which is slightly below where your trend line is.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, if you can take a little bit more in, buy a little bit more. Is this a powerful news item? This is more powerful than anything. Imagine all of the people over 50 hearing news like this. This is a home run.
Yeah, and that was my first thought. I mean, like anybody who, with your family member with Alzheimer's or any experience with it all, understands how big of a headline this is going to be. So I think there's going to be that bullish sentiment. Right before we get you out of here, I don't want to take too much of your time, and we always thank you so much. Obviously, Twitter's down now 8.5%. It was like 6.5%, 7% when I was looking at it a little bit earlier in the session. Now, certainly, I guess some of this may be to be expected. My first and initial thought was, hey, this seems like a bit much. Obviously, there might be a little bit less in terms of engagement with some of what's going on with this name. And if you were to kind of put the trend to these bottoms, it looks like we'll probably hit that trend bottom 44.5 to 45, even if we drop too much further today. Like if we go short sell restricted, like that 10% mark in this day. Is that something where you just pick a temp bottom in a Twitter, or is this like, hey, this is a little more than I would have expected to fall. Let's just stay away from it altogether?
Leaving politics aside for a minute, it's very, very hard to understand what this company is all about. If you're losing millions of followers and trendsetters, That's your baseline. So to me, I think the stock has room back to 39. So from that point of view, I stay away. Anything that's in the news, I don't understand yet how it plays out. You're taking risk in day trading or going long. So for me, I stay on the sidelines.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mark. I mean, it kind of gave me the sort of a second image. The first thing I looked at here was like, oh man, that's just way further than I expected. And I felt like if the market had treated it less, maybe there'd be an opportunity to short it at a reasonable price, but it's fallen further than I wanted. It doesn't have any support. It's like, what do you do with it? Sometimes the answer could be nothing here, Mark. As always, thank you so much. Best of luck in the trading week. Can't wait to talk to you again on Wednesday. I'll send you back to Brendan.
As always, yes, Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Pleasure. Best of luck this week. We'll speak again on Wednesday.
Have a good trading day.
You as well. Let's jump into what's moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so already, open up your watch list. If you haven't signed up for the watch list, make sure you do that as well. Absolutely free to you. Every single morning, we send it right to your email inbox. All the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market, we touch on a little bit of why. We'll start off with Baidu here, guys. I mean, this is old news. We've talked about it before. Baidu finally coming out and confirming, this was actually back on Friday, that Geely Holdings Corporation is the company they're going to team up with to enter the smart EV space. So not only the EV space, but the smart EV space. So obviously referring to autonomous driving. So Baidu is officially in the game.
I feel like the cat was out of, no, of course, we talked about this last week, and I think you guys have seen the run from like, 210 or so. Closing at like 240 even. The gap has been almost filled here back to the downside, which is very, very interesting if we actually get a chance to look back at that 240 level. You're even seeing Apple is talking to a couple of other names when it comes to their partnership. So the entire space is starting to get a little bit heated. Baidu is certainly going to be a big player here. Either way, I'm probably going to be looking to play the momentum with this. I don't want the idea of shorting it. I think if you had a chance to short this, off of with the upside is the full gap or at least half of the gap, and you could have taken something in a 252 range, that makes a heck of a lot more sense. But I mean, when it's already filled $14 in, and we're testing a little bit closer to that 240 level, it just makes a bit more sense to be with the momentum and look for a bit of a bottom here. So I can't say that if it was here at like 9.15 instead of 8.15, I probably would have been shorting it from a risk-reward standpoint. But now I'm just looking for that long off 240.
Yeah, we traded Baidu off. I have to go find the note, but it was in this day here when we took about $7 or $8 when we first saw that news, or was it this day? I think it might have been this day back December 30th. What day is it today? The 11th? Yeah, I don't know what day it was now. Maybe it might have been this day. Yeah, so Baidu, we took a big trade there. We tweeted it out. And yeah, today, again, another nice little 2.5%. And when you get in, like Neil just said there, when you're into electric vehicles, oops, that's the wrong chart. I need the 3-minute. There's lots happening there. It's a big stock, a big news story. Back down to 240 wouldn't surprise me. You know what? I'm nervous today about this market. Like, I know we're going to get to NIO right after this. I'd rather look at NIO than Baidu, again, just because of the price. I think there's obviously going to be a lot more liquidity, but 600,000 shares is still decent. I look for a 245, even a 250 break today, up that 2.5%. If you want to get your money into a Chinese name, I would always say Baba, but it doesn't seem like that's the right choice. So Baidu and JD and Pinduoduo. Can't go wrong with those, Brendan.
All right, guys, before we get to Arun and have a look at the market, let's have a look at some upgrades and downgrades. Yeah, NIO on here. JP Morgan with a price target increase and also an upgrade for NIO today among multiple other positive catalysts. So we'll have a look at that. Datadog on here. ExxonMobil, some energy names as well. Back to the upside. On this side of things, Yelp downgrade, but CRM, Salesforce, there was a negative note on Salesforce. They might be in for some trouble heading into the beginning of the new year. So CRM among others on the downgrade side today, guys.
Yeah, obviously everyone knows about, most people are going to know about the Salesforce Slack team up here. But this level, it's like 215.50 or so. You're looking at this bottom here on Salesforce, and you just feel like if that goes, you're going to be able to go on sale for this name. Probably going to get to 200 at some point on that break within, call it like a week or so, whatever it might be, or a couple of sessions. With volatility these days, it tends to be faster than you think. And then you're looking at these bunches, like Mark talks about all the time. You get that 180 to 200 bunch, and that's that next little gap, and that's probably a good place to wait around for on CRM. So, as much as you'll see this happen, you get a big deal. Obviously it's going to be expensive for them with Slack. Long term can be fantastic, but the market is rolling over, and you do have a support level about to burst here, Sean, in CRM.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tech play here where they're just taking over, like you mentioned, their Slack. I love CRM. I haven't bought it yet. I think this is an opportunity to do that, and I think we'll do it after the show, man. I want to get into Salesforce. It's data. It's all about data and more data, and Salesforce buying Slack gives them just that other platform to get involved in. I don't know where that downgrade's coming from, but maybe it's not a trade today, but I do like CRM, and Neil just mentioned it there, just about some of the bunching up here on the 1 day, man. 230 the high, the 215 the break. So you're going to watch for a 215 break to the downside. I think we'll take a short if that does happen, but then, I mean, it's going to, I don't know where it runs into here. The high on this move here, 208, earnings play. So yeah, we're going to have to wait to see 208 and change if that comes into play. I like Salesforce for a long-term catalyst. They're all there. It's in the right space. It's the right name. They just got to get through this deal with Slack.
All right, guys, the overall market here. We'll check out what levels we need to be aware of as far as the futures are concerned. The big news today as well, Arun is confirmed is going to be joining us after the show for our members Q&A. So if you haven't done so yet, if you have any questions regarding the futures markets, structure of the futures markets, how to trade the futures markets, make sure you sign up and join us right after the show. Arun is going to be involved in that 11:35. What's up for today, Arun?
Yeah, okay, so before I go ahead and start with that, I just want to clarify exactly what I'm looking at. I think some people are confused on what I'm talking about when I talk about levels. I'm talking specifically about the S&P 500 E-mini contract, and we're looking at the March contract today. So the first levels that I've got, 38.25 is the top end I've got. There seems to be quite a bit of action between 10 all the way up to 25, so we're going to mark off that 25 from the overnight high. That is the zone for selling. This breakdown just past 90. Now, I jumped into the short on the downside here, so I am short at 89. We're about 7 points, just under 7 points in the money at the moment. But the risk on that trade has to be 25. There's nothing in between. There's a lot of action, but there's nothing in terms of clean levels I can actually use for a stop. So 38.25 is the top end level. I'm short at 90. I'm looking for it to get down to at least into the 75s before I can start looking at the potential of a long. If we do set up on the long side, I've got 37.55 as the bottom end level. So right now we're sitting at 83. If we can get down to the 75 area, then we have a potential for a long if it sets up properly. If it bounces back up, the short isn't in play. Nothing I've seen yet changes my read on the short. Of course, that can change after the market opens, but for now, I'm going to stay on the short side, looking for a 75 breakdown. Into that, if we can set up, then there's potential to reverse the trade. Otherwise, we're just going to ride this out and see how this plays after the market opens. But yeah, like Brendan said, after the show is done, I'll be on the Q&A. So if you have questions that you've been meaning to ask and you're a member, by all means, I'll be there to answer them if you have anything to ask about the futures or just anything in general, right? This is the first time I'll be doing the Q&A, so it'll be different for me. It'll be different for everyone else in terms of content, so we'll see how that goes.
Great stuff, Arun. Yeah, 11:35 ends up being 11:40, but we will speak to you then.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. There we go, guys. Look at the overall market. Let's continue along on the watch list. NEO next. Successful NEO Day over the weekend, where they launched or talked about at least a whole bunch of new products on the way. They're going to team up with NVIDIA to further develop autonomous driving on their end. They revealed their latest model that is going to have autonomous capabilities down the road. So lots of things to choose from here. Even a JP Morgan upgrade today for NEO.
It's all coming together, and we talked about it. Look, I sit on last week that 60 was coming. I didn't think 66 was coming, but it is. So congratulations to everybody long NEO. The cash cow just continues to come through. I did want to show it. This is what we're talking about right now. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure you do so. It's our morning movers. And what it is this a watch list that we've compiled that I think you got to take advantage of if you haven't got a watch list or you haven't signed up yet. Here it is right here. NEO, as we put this out, JP Morgan price increase, and then a talk all about everything, looking to get into bigger and better, battling companies like Daimler, which is Mercedes, of course, and BMW, releasing new cars, going forward solid state batteries. They're going crazy, NEO, and with good reason, right? They got state-backed funding from the Chinese government down there at $2 or $3 back in March, and since then it's been takeoff central. The Chinese government has nothing to worry about, as they have made probably trillions of dollars in this company on the back of the U.S. market and the listings. So yeah, $66 coming to the high side here. Let's just wait to see what it does. There's someone in the chat who was like, well, we don't know what NEO is going to do. And you're right. We have no idea what it's going to do, but you can look at charts. And it's not that we love to trade off charts, but there's been this dip here a couple times. So one time into 65, up to 65.50, then again into 65. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more to help you guys see. Then again, it's how many times have we seen a bounce into 65? The last two lower than the first two, but it supported the 64.80 levels. So what we always do, and then I didn't do on Friday because I was distracted with some other bangers, but hopefully today we can watch NEO drop into this level, man. 64, 64.50, even 65. I mean, we'll nibble on this as it comes down. And then honestly, I mean, where do we drop this thing off? I mean, it opened up 63. This level's 64 there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to stay long as much as I can on NEO today. I like taking this breakout. And then we do have, remember off the top here, you guys like to look at this, only 10% paired off right now. So we did have about 4 million. We've paired off 380, still 4 million to buy roughly. It's going to get up to that level. GE is sell, but we're talking about NEO right now. So as it goes, man, 14 million shares, I would say load up. I mean, I don't know about load up, but start nibbling down here, 64 and change, maybe 64.90, and then see if you can't defend something like this 64 area. But you're not going to see me getting caught long this name. I do want to get out if the pressure does come off and there is a little bit of profit taking. I mean, I can see there being a lot of profit taking today on this name because I wasn't expecting 11%. But hey, it could be the opposite, right, Neil? There could be people that aren't in this name that are thinking this is the next Tesla. Hey, it might as well be the next Tesla. I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm not invested in this one, but I do know it's a hell of a day trading stock.
Yeah, it's a redonkulous day trading stock. I mean, think about the fact that like Buffett's play in the EV space, or that BYD sells more vehicles, delivers more vehicles than NEO, and I think NEO, I want to say NEO and XPeng combined, and maybe even Liata, you could probably throw all three of them, and BYD outsells them. And you don't hear anything about them because there's no hype around it. This deal with NVIDIA is big news. Obviously, their ambitions are catching the attention, and I have a lot of people. The only thing about this gap and then that pullback trade, which, look, it's been one that's worked, so there's no way I'm not going to try it today. The bigger the gap, I think sometimes the bigger the dip before that run. So I'm just putting in perspective here, showing the 15-minute, because it's one thing to say, okay, we went from those highs, 59, up 13%. But let's remember, we'd already run like 20% going into that in a couple of days. So NEO already was making a big move. If the dip comes to like that 63.5 spot, I wouldn't be surprised. So it might be a little bit weaker than I expect. And if I can take it in around that price on an opening dip with a tighter stop, that might be the play. But it's catching it on the turn that I always like to prefer to do, as opposed to just jumping in front of the falling sword, or at least the bulk of your position comes on the turn on the way up.
All right, let's go to the other side of the story here, guys. NVIDIA, NEO coming out on the weekend during NEO Day, saying that they've chosen NVIDIA's Orin technology, or Orin chip, to further develop their autonomous driving technology. So a little bit of a bump here for NVIDIA this morning as well.
Yeah,
maybe breaking its slumber, hopefully.
Yeah, this is the one that I like a little bit better than NEO, just because I think that we get a little more of a definitive move here. And I mean, I wrote down 545. That's obviously the top that we're at right now, but it is a pulling back down. You got to watch out for these futures. I still am a little bit worried about these. These are the ESs. Let's just check out the NASDAQ quickly here on some moves down. Arun gave us some key levels there, but I mean, 13,000 on the NASDAQ doesn't get too much more important than that. So we're going to wait to see, but NVIDIA does pull back a little bit. It's a nice deal for them just because it gets them more into the space. If NEO does wind up selling all these cars, then obviously their chip will be put back into focus there. I think it said, what was that, the news that we had on this chip here? Let's just go quickly. I want to show you guys something. It was amazing for me to see this. The scalable supercomputer on the chip family delivers an unprecedented 254 trillion operations per second. Okay, so I mean, I don't know if AMD or anybody has a chip similar to that, but that's pretty damn impressive. I like that they're scaling up with NEO here. 542 looks like a great little spot. I like 545 on NVIDIA. I definitely don't think this one's worth the short today. That's still the 1 minute chart. Let me call up the daily here on NVIDIA if it will load just quickly. Sorry, hurry up, hurry up. What I have on the other system here on the 20 minute was, yeah, about the same levels here. 550. This is why we haven't looked at NVIDIA lately. If you're watching the show, it's been pretty choppy. AMD's been much, much better. This has been stuck in a range here from November 10th, high 540, low 507. So you're in a $40 range here for about literally 2 months, which is so strange. So I think if we can break out today, then hallelujah. That's that 545 area right there. We topped out there on Jan 4th. So I like a 545 break on this name, but at the same time, it's going to have to be one that we watch. So I like 542 temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, throwing out that 254 trillion just gives me an excuse to say Moore's Law out loud on the show for the first time. That 546 area, 545, 546, I should say, there was a top here last week, right? So it did tick through right off of an opening break into that 546 level before pulling back. And this is what's interesting me. We're bouncing right here off of this 536 to 538 level where you had the high, the rest of last week. So that looks like it could be that first support level. If we hold that, it's worth, I think, a bit of a nibble at that price in front of it, and then looking for a break. Now, 545, 546, it's splitting hairs, but sometimes I prefer taking the breakout trade and allowing it to extend through that previous week's high as well. So I kind of lean towards the 546 on the breakout, and then I'm looking for a nibble in front of this 535 to 538, hopefully at the open. I'd like to get along as close to that as possible if I can get one at 9:30.
All right, guys, we'll go to Twitter next. I think Mark really nailed this in his approach to, thinking about this news as far as Twitter is concerned. Politics aside, as he mentioned, we'll discuss the fact that, this is a company that relies on an audience for advertising revenue. If you take a large chunk of that away for whatever reason, that is going to inevitably hurt them to the downside. So Twitter, big move down here after we learned Friday after the close that they have permanently suspended U.S. President Trump's Twitter account.
Yeah, I mean, how could we put politics aside? I mean, this is, we don't talk politics here and we're not going to do it now, but this is a move based on obviously them banning President Trump. I mean, it is what it is. The tech sector's been getting hit, so that makes sense to me after Twitter basically makes all-time highs, 55, 56 here. That was good news on Snapchat there, good news on Twitter. And then, yeah, bad news cometh, right? When we had those riots come through, and then I guess there was some news and some forward thinking there that possibly this was going to happen. And then today it does happen. We crushed through the 50-period moving average. And let's not get too crazy. We're only back down a month where we were a month ago, but it's a big move down, and Twitter's a widely held stock. And like you said there, if you're going to lose a character, I mean, no matter what you say, whether or not you're on which side of the aisle, but President Trump tweets, some of the most widely read tweets, some of the most widely criticized and talked about in the media, and then now you're pulling him off of that platform, whether or not it's the right move or not. That's the kind of discussion that we're not going to get into. But Twitter does fall on that, and I agree, man. I mean, if half of the U.S., I think it was, 75 million people voted for Donald Trump, and so maybe this has upset, a good amount of those. So I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know what the story is going to be. But for right now, man, Twitter is just definitely a sell. This is the 1 day look there. And we on a minute chart, this is a 1 minute chart. There's really no levels to look at other than us eventually coming down and breaking this 47, 47.10. And then if you do think that this is overdone, which Neil, you hinted to, I just don't know, man. 48.25. I think it's a short into those levels. I don't know if we slam the short right off the top, but we got to short these 48.25 pops if we can get those.
My thought was that like you'd be down, and then the pressure would probably be after the open, and there would be an opportunity to short off that 50 level. That's what I actually thought was going to happen today. It just felt like, okay, this went a heck of a lot further than I thought in the pre-market, and can you really short it through the bottom here? And there is that 46.50 level that I guess it'll stand out below today's close. But I'm probably going to get caught up in one of those. If it bounces back and gives you that breakout at 48.30, I'll probably look to call that bluff in the 49 range. Maybe it makes more sense to wait for 50, but we'll have to take a look at it when it gets there. It's not like Twitter is not going to be at the top of the list for 9:30 plays. I think Nvidia and Neo probably are going to be better plays, and then a couple of small caps, which I'm in right now, or at least one of them still ALRN. And then if you're watching this LMFA, it's lower on our watch list. I was in and out of that one quickly. It's looking very, very strong here, trying to push towards this high. So there's a lot of names that I think will be ahead of Twitter. Maybe it's more of like a 9:45 to 10 o'clock. Let's see if we can't sell off his 49 to 50 area. If it gets anywhere close to it, I guess.
Brendan, I just want to show everybody here that crypto is getting Cripstroid right now. Is that a word? Look at these sell candles coming in here, man. Big time red on the sell side. Here's crypto right now, and we're talking about BTC. I assume they're all following them right now. Ether. Where's Ether down here? 27%. 30,000 coming into play right now. 30,100. This is on Kraken, it looks like, just another exchange. So it's a chart that I found that makes good sense here. You can see all, this is, I don't know, this is Crypto Watch. This is all the markets here today. So no matter what exchange you're on, you're down about 21% with Ether. Looks like they're leading the way, down 27%. Just looking for some bounces here, 30,000. I just want everyone to notice, this is a 1 minute candle. These charts, this volume has ramped up like in the last 15 minutes or so, just big time. I mean, these are what the candles looked like previous, and then there's the ramp up. I guess they had a data problem, I guess here, but there it is, just ramped up right now, and you're getting to the downside now, 31,000. But I just want to bring it to everyone's attention that 30,008 just held, and then you're getting a little bit of a bounce now. That wasn't my point. The point was is that this has been a 10% drop here from 33 to 30 in about 15 minutes, Brendan.
Yeah, guys, why don't we jump down to some of these blockchain stocks and figure out what to do with a lot of these, obviously in negative territory this morning because of that move. This is officially now the biggest decline for Bitcoin this year, obviously, and as well last year since the March crash that was caused by the pandemic initially. A lot of people I was reading over the weekend, a lot of analysts talking about some similarities in the price movement that we saw going into the weekend in comparison to what happened back in February, March, April of last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a new story. Again, this is not a new story pulling back this heavily. I think certainly if you're watching some of the individual names, I was kind of looking for one of these to have a bigger than expected move. I'm looking at the actual percent down that we have here from the spot price. I'm not really seeing too much of that. Whether you talk about Mara or Riot, they're both down exactly 21%. So they're going lockstep, at least for now. I'm looking for a dislocation somewhere, and that's going to be the first thing I'll try to watch. I mean, if you get an extended fall, which is further, and then a bit of a base in Bitcoin, that's the one I want to be able to pick up here. But this is starting to get a little bit spicy. I kind of feel like if at 9:30 there's like one of those like slam and then a bid gets caught, you're really not going to want to miss it because you could just be back up like 5 or 10% very, very quickly. That's how volatile this will be. So you should know in advance what it is you want to trade. If you want to trade GBTC, that's your play. If you have a couple of these up, like a Riot or a Mara, or maybe they get like an FT, either one, BTBT, know which one you want to try to play around with. Is it going to be a bit of a divergence play? Do you just want to try to catch a turn when you're tracking the spot? So you can't be sitting around looking at 5 or 6 names when you're trying to catch a quick move because it's going to be too volatile for that type of a play. You got to know exactly where you're going to look. For me, it's likely to be Mara.
So if you take GBT, yeah, exactly. So a lot of your accounts, and again, I don't know, I just know even my account here with iTrade, I'm not able to trade pink sheet names. So if you're not able to, GBTC is the one that does most of the volume, and they say they follow spot, but I don't know if it does or not, so we'll wait out for that one. But if you're down 30%, we closed about $44. So you take off 12 from that, maybe 28, something like that. But we're still holding up at 37. So we got to watch out to trade that name, and you're gonna just watch it. The other one that I want to talk about quickly is Square, because Square is a name that a lot of us are holding, including myself, and it's going to get hit a little bit on this news too, because again, Square is, I think they purchased about 50 million Bitcoin, but I believe that was sub 20K. So they're doing pretty good, but they will get hit on a pullback here in Bitcoin, because again, it's a play that I know a lot of you have made, and I think there's some other people that have made based on crypto and some of the move that's happening there with Square accepting it and Square investing in some crypto, so watch out for that name. It's coming back down, and we'll call it just a chart here to look at it on the daily. 231, it just bounced off there, so watch out for a 232 or so break here on Square to the downside with only 10 minutes to go. This is definitely a name to watch if you're looking at the crypto space.
All right, we'll go back to EV world. Once again, talk about Tesla here before we get to the open. About 10 minutes to go here. Before the market opens, no real significant news as far as Tesla is concerned. Bank of America raised their current price target to 900. I mean, it's at, what, 850 or so this morning. No additional news on top of that, but noticeably weak this morning, guys, when you compare it to some of the other EV players.
It's such a weird thing to have.
It's Tesla.
Yeah, it's strange that you have Tesla, which has been such a crazy stock, and then you come into a day like today, and it's like, oh, ho hum, it's going to be asleep a little bit because NIO is all the rage. I hesitate to say this, but if I look at this top on Tesla, and so you get the gap, you get the crazy run, and if we break this 850, which a couple of times has been somewhat support and then running up, and you're not really even testing, you're getting 885 a couple of times, fantastic short in the afternoon, I think, by some traders on this floor off that level. If you break this 850 to the downside, I mean, this just sort of feels like maybe this is the day. I hate predicting that because it just never worked out for me. And if I was looking to take profit in Tesla, and you were thinking, okay, I haven't sold on the way up, and I'm looking to nibble a little bit out, that 850 level is a bit of a break, probably worth a bit of a look here off of the open. I don't see how NIO isn't the preferred day trade today. It's done, given the volume it's done, and just the historic day-to-day variability at the open, and the moves that you start to see in the patterns. They're just a heck of a lot cleaner in NIO. So for me in Tesla, there is that 850 breakdown. I can't take it. If you're taking profits on a long, that makes some sense. But I'd rather short it in the afternoon where there's more defined levels, or trade it a little bit later on in the session when I have a better sense of the ranges.
Yeah, I didn't mean to blast everybody with the sneeze, guys. I guess the cough button on this board is not working, because I was definitely holding that one down. But thank you for the kind wishes there. And yeah, it's not a. Someone said, "Oh, sneezing is a sign of corona." I don't know. I feel great, so I don't think that's what it was. I think I just got something caught in my nose there. Here's an inside secret to you guys. We actually wear makeup. Am I allowed to say that? So sometimes it gets a little bit dusty and whatnot here. 860 to the top on Tesla. Look, I like an 850 break. There's no doubt about that to the downside. I just worry again about what NIO effect is going to have on this. I almost think it has the opposite. Like I actually think that this money comes out of Tesla maybe here and into NIO. So if that does happen, watch out for an 850 break, and then we'll see what does happen. Yeah, I know, Daniela. We're not worried about that. It's not a symptom. And if I do feel bad, then obviously I wouldn't be here, not risking anything. But we're not talking about the virus. We're talking about Tesla right now, and 2.64%. I like it. I think it could go up from here. We love this 870 level. We've loved that last week. We defended that a little bit here last week, and then now we're going to look to see if it takes it off. But I think 870 is a little bit of a pipe dream, especially if the NASDAQ continues to fall down. We started the show down 8%, 0.8%. Now we escalate even further. So I'm trying to find some shorts in the market here today. A quick look back, though, at NIO before we throw to Brendan, just to see 65.30. Let's just quickly look. I know you guys like this. The balance locator. Hello. So get ready to get unplugged today with NIO. 4.6 million shares now to buy. So it's humbling friend Twitter on the downside, NIO to the upside, and wow, getting pretty aggressive here, NIO near the day's high with a monster imbalance, guys.
Notice this headline, guys. We'll talk about a couple other ones here before we get to the actual market opening. But Lordstown Ride, Lordstown receiving 100,000, actually more than 100,000 pre-orders for its electric pickup truck and commercial vehicle. I'm going to read more into this, but just noticed Lordstown up slightly on that. We're off the highs, in fact, from pre-market. It did touch some of these daily levels up here in front of 24. So another one in the EV space looking a little bit strong once again today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, sort of that was.
I need Fisker to go. Let's go, Fisker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't Fisker going? But Lordstown slowly not really breaking its slumber. I think you got to see this one break out through 24 before it gets a little bit more interesting to me. But certainly good news. I just finished talking about. Make sure you find the one that you want on the dip, and then just pay attention to it and be glued and know exactly the play you want to make. Yada yada yada, and then a slight bounce in spot, and then Mara goes. Breaking right through this 20 with a dollar pullback here up the upside. Now, obviously, we're not at the open yet, and this is a time where you're lining up all your ducks. Want to make sure that you have your plays ready to go. So I can't say that this would have been hammer time or something that I actually would have normally taken. I've shorted a couple times scalping Mara in the pre-market, but taking that type of a move, I've never really tried. At 920, 925. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't have had this either way, just as a cautionary look here. But let's see what happens off the open. It does look like maybe we found a bit of a base. If this is the start of something, you don't want to miss it when it continues.
No, you don't want to miss out. Just looked at some NEO, so we did put some orders on the downside here, just to let you guys know. 64 and change, 65. So we're bid some 65s, we bid some 64.80s, we'll bid some low 64s, and then we'll see if 63.50 breaks. But I'm willing to lose a couple hundred, maybe not a couple thousand, maybe a couple thousand, not a couple 10,000. So I'm bullish on NEO. And one thing before we go to you, Brendan, I just want to notice, and I want to say congratulations to everybody joining us for the first time. I believe this is a record. Someone just put it in the chat there. 10,200 watching already. If you can, put this check mark, like that's 13%. Like we should get a little higher than that. So let's go, guys. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 before the show even starts. We have 4 minutes, and I'm assigning it to all of you. Let's go to 2,000. We'll get Valeria back on. Wow, that was fast, 1.7. I guess we'll get to 2,000 a little quicker than we thought, but thank you guys for that support. It's a free show. That's all we ask for you is to like it and subscribe if you can to the show so that you get notifications. We're doing it every single day for you, so let's go, guys. It's going to be a big day today. Thank you for making this a record-breaking day. We won't be drinking any Veuve today, but we're going to do that soon when we get to 200,000. Kevin O'Leary on Friday. I'm coming after you, Kevin. Let's go.
All right, guys, one more to talk about before we get to the open here. JAGX, just keep this on your radar. It's already broken to the downside, but remember, this thing has had a huge move from penny stock up to 450 back on Friday and again this morning. Finally looking like it might want to break downside here. It's already come off from 440, 450 down to 330, but we're trying to bounce back up into 4. Any retest of 4 to 420, a good spot for JAGX. Guys.
Yeah, definitely a good one there. Love that look there, Brendan. A couple of minutes ago here before the open, ALRN, another one we have here. Alarion, it's the last name on the list. They do have a 1B trial that'll be coming through in Q2 and also completed an offering. You're going to see it up 20%. A nice fade opportunity. There was a 170 to 180 channel. I shorted the top of it. I then shorted the break. I got some out for like a 10-cent win, and then when I got some more shares in, my average price now 76. As this one starts to fall off, so I will take profit all the way, probably next level here, this 155 to 160, where you saw post-market, there was a bit of a dip buy, and then your ultimate target would be down around 145 even. So ALRN, another one here that we're going to be looking at. NEO pressing back towards those highs. So try to be patient with this one because if your plan is to dip buy, you don't want to go too crazy, guys. You have to wait around a little bit and get a good price as opposed to not buying too early. Boeing just bounced a tiny bit off of 201, so still looking for bottom break there. Again, I think there's a day trade to the short side today, even though we don't necessarily know exactly what the cause of that crash is. Still probably a bit of a sell opportunity, and I'm going to do that if it breaks that low of the day.
And guys, thank you so much. We'll go bang that one out because you guys just made that happen. 3.4K there. That was 2,000 likes in under a minute, guys. So thank you so much for that. And now it's looking, 11,000 now watching. Thanks again so much. Let's start prepping the day though, guys. I mean, we can just keep on thanking you over and over again, but I know we can get that to 5,000. So there you go. Okay, NVIDIA, I like 542. We talked about that, but we are dropping down 1% now in the market. So we're going to watch out for NVIDIA. I don't want to short this name, maybe even 540. I think we'll put a 540 bin in as well. That's where we stop there. Let's see if we can't get NVIDIA going on some of these names. XPeng, aka XPEV. You'll hear us call it by its ticker rather than its name, but it's XPeng. Of course, they're getting some NEO love as well today, up that 2.27%. Watch out for this 47 break on XPEV up to the upside there. I actually thought, to be honest with you, that we would be a lot higher here on XPEV today. We could break out, man, back through this level here. 47, 47.80. We do like XPEV on a break higher there. Those are just some of the names. Well, 47.50. Check back in on the imbalance locator. Who else is going to show you this? I don't know if anybody else on YouTube has this kind of access, but 5 million shares to go on NEO, and we're tipping down. We're going to take some longs here, 65 and change, if we can get it. If we can't, then I'd love to take a 66 break to the upside. So let's just watch out. We are fading back in. This often does happen when you get imbalances like this, Neil, as you know. So let's wait to see if this drops back down. But right now, Twitter going to the downside as well.
Sean, Twitter actually broke that 47 just a couple of minutes ago and starting to come back in here. So I was going to look at that break, but I wanted after the open, if I can get that price, I have to give that probably to like a 47.76 before getting in maybe again on a bigger push to the upside like that 49.50 area. But we do have about 30 seconds to the open, of course, and this is a fresh new week. I might have to get this Twitter before it tries to run away from me here, but beneath that 47 mark. Miss V is going to be on the bell, and I know she'll have a smile on her face because of all the love and support that we got. Thank you so much for that. We're in the green, even though the market is not green today.
It's not.
But let's drop that countdown. Here we go, 10 seconds to go. I'm trying to get some of this Twitter, if I can, beneath that 47 area. We just got some shares in. 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, so we actually got in. We got in on a bid on NEO here, low side, guys, 64.90, and then we're getting hit again, 64 and change. NEO coming to the downside. We called this move, so now we have the shares, long 64 and change. Let's watch out NEO to break the bottom here. I have no idea how far this one's going to go, guys.
Yeah, I mean, whoa, it's already at that 40. Yeah, it's already at that 63.50 area. So I just got my dip buy in front of 63.50. I also have the short here, which is starting to go against me in Twitter. But Neil, that came rather quickly, immediately to that 63.50 price, the first test that I thought would be in.
Yeah, here we go. Super happy with that, but here we go to the upside. We're long 64.50 right now. Not good, so we'll wait to see what does happen to this one. We do take CCL on the short here, so let's see how far this one wants to go down. We're short 96. We take a little bit off there, 92. So let's see how far CCL wants to go down. We're still long NEO and getting destroyed right now as we wait for some 62s to come through. But NEO right now, not a good trade. CCL much, much better to the downside, but really not moving. Let's see if we get this 90 break here on CCL, guys.
Yeah, and that Twitter's starting to maybe work for me. But I mean, Neil's trying to make its move. Now I'm looking to see if we can, and this is a 1-minute chart, guys, so you can see how crazy that fall was. If it can make any kind of a base 63.50, this is where you want to take some more shares on the way up as opposed to on the way down. And of course, as I say it, I might have missed that shot at 63.50. If we can get some out on the north side of 64, like I just did there, line that one up, knock it out. I think 64.25, I'd take some more out if I can. But you're seeing crazy whipsaw action right now on Neil. So it's going from in the money 40-50 cents to out of the money 30-40 cents. It needs to settle itself down. Twitter, of course, headed the other direction here, guys. So 46.93. I got to take some shares out in front of 46 because I plan on shorting each pop. So I want to make sure I can get in and out of this as actively as possible.
We also have long NVIDIA right now, too, guys. So we just did a new position. Long NVIDIA, 540. Bang! Big trade there on NVIDIA as we go. Let's go. The cash cow, that's NVIDIA, keeps going. We go long 240. We go long 242. NVIDIA to the moon. Now let's go, Brendan.
One to look at, guys, from the watch list. MESO, MESO, initial weakness seems to be buying. This thing already has a huge range, so trade carefully on this one. 19 on the top, we're back to 12. Very, very thin for MESO, going crazy.
All right, yeah, we've got a big trade here for sure on NVIDIA, guys. This is $5 now in the money on NVIDIA, so let's go on that one. The cash cow comes through on NVIDIA. And let's get the hell going, NEO. Let's go, NEO. You know we're long 64, 38 right now. We take some out there. Now we're trying to run to the high side. We didn't average in to the complete bottom, but we got a good trade on now. Let's see if NEO can go. Big time trade. $5 in the money now on NVIDIA. So there's the belly dance trade. Let's just keep going to the high side. Goal met, but we got to get out. Let's go, Neil.
Neo right through that 64 area,
buddy.
right to 65. I'm going to take another leg out here. I'm anticipating another dip if we can get it, but you can see we bottom picked this 163.50 area.
Yeah, go.
Off that level. We're $1 plus in the money here. Let's run this one. Let's see how far we can get, guys. NVIDIA, you're looking at 546, which that was that breakout price from before. If we can hold that bid, it might be worth another move. Twitter's in the money, $1.30 to the downside, so that one continues its fall as well, guys. So far, so good, except for the small caps. That ALRN's back to flat. I might look for a reload there.
And guys, boom, this is what we do. The spicy market just keeps coming, guys. Big trade on Neo, the biggest trade here for me in a while. Averaged in. We load up downside, and now we take this off for $1 plus winner right there, guys. $4 in the money and taking some off here. That's $4 in the money. Did I say 4? I meant 6 right there. So the money bag just keeps coming in through here on NVIDIA. But let's take some out now on NVIDIA. We've been taking some out. We'll take some more out. Boom, boom, boom. The money just keeps coming in. Double the day goal already. And yeah, we've upped our day goal, and it's a double right now, guys. So let's just keep on going to this one. Great trade for Twitter on the short side, Neil. That one just keeps on going down. But look at Neo to the high side right now. And boy, are we cashing in on Neo today, guys. Big trade, one of my biggest in a long time. And then now we go short on CCL. We still have that one. It's breaking day's lows. The day, guys, just keeps on coming. Let's just get going and blow up some money right now. Big time trading on this side of the board. Neo for the win. Brendo.
We talked about Eli Lilly there in the pre-market, guys. Just had a volume alert to the downside. So LLY 11.5% was 15 plus a little bit earlier. So initial volume selling for Eli Lilly in all-time high territory.
And Boeing went the other way. So I was looking for a bottom break here in Boeing. It's about the only thing that hasn't looked like it's gone to plan. It's gone up to like a 205 level. I'm still looking to short the break, but I look at this pre-market high at 205. If it gets anywhere closer, I'll probably take a shot at it. Neo is gone. It's gone.
Oh, it is the best.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
gone
time is a bit the only way to put it. 66 we're looking at on the break. I mean, I'm probably I'm going to hold on to these last shares. I thought there'd be another dip to be able to buy back in. Now I'm thinking VWAP at 65 maybe if it comes down fast enough, but I'm just not seeing it just yet. Now NVIDIA, fantastic break on that 542, I believe it was, Sean, or 540. 546 was that previous high. It's trying to hold above. I feel like if this battle goes any longer, I'm going to get a dip into this 43 level and then see if we can't run it to that high. 550, of course, another psychological level worth watching. Twitter is leveled off. It's still in the money, guys, but it's leveled off a bit at that 46 area.
So it's good when you make keystrokes sometimes, but not that good because I got out of everything here on a 66 break and we missed. Boom! We just keep on going, guys. Hit the air horn. This has gone nuts right now. You can see to the upside 70s. Look at these wins, man. This is $3+ here on Neo from the very bottom. Up and away. We tried to get a 66 break. We missed. I thought I got it. We did not. So that's why when I got out, I got of way too many shares. I thought we had multiple, I don't want to say the digits, but multiple shares on that side, and we didn't. So we take it out. Bang, bang, bang. I can't do this any better, honestly, guys, than what's happened today for me. It's been just such a monster day. We go up to 548, and I don't even notice an $8 winner here on NVIDIA, but we're still long 246. So let's just keep on going. We've missed lots of opportunities, but I could care less because we're 3 for 3 and just murking this market, guys. Look at CCL to the downside. Goes all the way down there to 80 off of a 20 short. Man, this is a fun job.
Yeah, this is definitely a good one. I'll go back to ALRN now because I gave you a pop, and I said it just popped up. When we look to reload, I did. It got near the top at 176. So playing off the same levels we had before, it was a 170 to 180 channel. It pops up at 930 right into the top of it. You short that price. Now we're getting right back out for some of these fantastic levels down around this 165 area. We talked about this, and 145 being our target. Brendan, what's up?
Don't forget some of the other EV makers in the group as well. Li Auto starting to go. Wasn't that active right off the open, but they're buying it now from 34 up to 35, guys, for Li Auto.
We talked about taking XPEV out, but you know what? I could care less about XPEV right now because we just absolutely marked. I mean, that was such a great trade there on Neo. We can't, honestly, I can't do anything better than that. We talked about it and we gave that all to you guys clean. I'm holding 5% left on this, and we talked about it coming all the way down and that we'd find a level to defend, but we weren't going to go too ham on this one all the way down, but we did average in 4 times. That's how much you like it. or I like it. You guys know that I don't average in that much. And when you see me do that, bang, 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 you know we got some decent shares, and then we take it out basically at the very top. NVIDIA still ripping. We got $3 in the money. We've absolutely murdered this stock. Let's see if it goes up to 548. I love NVIDIA. I love this space. I love all of the news. I love you, NVIDIA. And Brendan, I have feelings for you too. What's up, buddy?
Billy, not so much. To the downside, 5%. Some of the other Chinese names, guys, this one just popping up on a volume scanner just broke the day low through 112. Another one with a huge range so far, 115.5 down to 111.5 for Billy.
Just going to go back to Eli Lilly for a second here. It is a bit of a move. Obviously, we talked about the news. It's a bit of a mover. It's coming back into this 190 level. I thought there'd be a chance to play a potential break to the upside. Hopefully, this is going to be it. It did slam down and make a bottom at 182. So Lilly, first time of the day, will be a 190 break long. If it goes right back to like a 187, I would just get out of it. But fantastic news, of course. Alzheimer's. For them, Alzheimer's treatment, positive news. And I'm watching for NEO pulling back into that 63.50 area
63.50
at about 64 a quarter right now. See if I can get some more shares down in front of that price to buy the dip, which we said we would.
Yeah, exactly. We just bought some dips right now as well. So we'll wait on that one to see how far this breaks to the downside now, as we'll protect these shares that we do have. Now, we did pick some more up at 64.46 there. It doesn't matter, though. Wow, NVIDIA. I mean, you guys want chicken dinner winners. We go to the highest spot we've been at all day long. We keep this money. Wow, this is a $9 winner from this 540. And if you want this 542, it's a $7 winner right now. So you can see we're in the money now, $7 here on NVIDIA. We've absolutely destroyed NEO. And oh yeah, by the way, CCL, nice little outs here in the mid 80s off of a 20 short, but we are coming back to the upside. We're gonna have to drop some CCL here, but what a great day this has been, man, for me, for Neil, for everybody included here. And I hope you're having just as successful day. I cannot believe this. What great trading it's been today. $7 now in the money. We're blowing it up today, guys, right here on Trader TV Live. Hope you're enjoying yourself.
I shouldn't get mad because, like, the Bills won, all the trades are working, but there's Mara again. It does make another base, and I saw a small climb in the spot here, but it's not a huge. But Mara is just off to the races. This is the one I like for a bottom pick. But if you're involved in 3-4 names at a time, something's going to miss the mark, and for me, it's going to end up being this Mara pullback into 21. It's starting to go a little bit. If there's any kind of a rollover in spot, as we're only at 33,000, Mara's probably going to be due for a bit of a sell. It just seems like it's extending itself a little bit further than I would have anticipated here.
Guys, this is what I tweeted out on NEO before the show even started. I said, multiple check marks here, defend, all of these levels, and that's exactly what we did as we run it up to $66. And then the same thing here on NVIDIA. We're going to tweet this one out as well. But the buy here at 540, the buy here at 542, like those trades that we have on board now. This is a $12 winner now. Whoops, we don't want to save it. This is a $12. Get out of here. $12 winner now on NVIDIA. We're going to post this up on Twitter. I have no ways about this one. $10, 9 cent win right now on CCL. And then NEO just continues to go up, man. Back to day's high, I think, is where we're going on this one. What a reload down there, 64.50. We back in the building, guys. Let's go with the cowbells, and let's go right over to Brendo.
Another little one, recent transition from a SPAC to its own symbol here, Go EV. Guys, Canoe just popped up on huge volume. Just went from 1575 to 1625. So some of the little ones in the EV space, very strong so far.
And I'm just going to quickly come back to Tesla for a second there. That 850, yep, great level. Certainly you could have had that short. You're not going to catch everything. We try to go over everything we can for you guys. It's on our watch list. And the one look, I think we both said, have a look at that 850 on Tesla for a bit of a breakdown. But if you're trading in NEO, that was, to me, the better play. And we said it was a better day trade if you had both. Fantastic and good on you. Twitter has bounced at least a little bit here. I mean, I did take one leg off at 46. And then it went all the way down to the 45.20. And you look at the consolidation I was talking about. This rollover here at 46.12, this is what I want to take right here, right now. It's right up here. And VWAP, I don't really care too much about it. It's just more the fact that on the way down in front of 46, there was a bit of a buyer there. So if I can use the same level to sell on a retest, I'm going to get back into some shares of Twitter to the sell side. It's been good, but not nearly as good as obviously NEO has been. I want to go to that ALRN if I can, just for a quick second. This is starting to stabilize at the same 160 level that it based out at before. So I'm going to take a few more shares off here. If it breaks that price, you can always add to a position staying active. It's done 7.5 million shares.
Okay, so we went more short here, and it's just, I don't know what to tell you guys about the kind of day that this has been for me. I think you should know by now with some of the actions that we've been having on the show. I mean, we went short again, 1980 there on CCL, and now it's just cracking. I mean, chicken dinner, whatever. We had prime rib last night. What's up to my wife? That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for all of that. It got me motivated here today. And we are at our highest spot. We're 3x right now. And we've upped our totals. We've upped what we're looking for. And there we go. We drop our NEO. I told you we're not going to get loving this stock. We're not going to love this one all the way to the bottom. We average there. NEO, my #1 stock. But that's a lie. Right now, because NVIDIA, I've only traded 3 names now, CCL, NIO, and NVIDIA, and all 3 of them, guys, have been home runs like you've never seen. Well, you've seen them before, but $10 now in the money. Sorry, this is $12 off of this. I don't really have an out here. I'm debating $548 on NEO.
50,000 sellers just showed up on NEO on the offer. I don't know if they ticked it down, but I just saw it like in the mid-70s there. There it is. It's at 80. It just broke that right now, and that was legitimate volume on NIO
we're out of
there.
that stock.
So I actually got out when I saw that, testing the bottom, 50,000 shares. I mean, maybe it's going to go up from here, but you don't want to have a winner turn into a loser. I thought on the second pushback, you'd get up to 66 or higher. The fact that it didn't is a bit of a bearish sign. ALRN started to work out for me. And the reload in Twitter, well, I guess that's going to be just fine. We talked about it. Maybe you don't know what to do with it, but the day trade so far looks like it's southbound on Twitter. If we break 46.50, however, I'll walk away from this one and look for another re-entry. Brendan, what's up, bud?
A little tiny micro cap biotech here. GeoVax, GovX, GOVX on the NASDAQ, just coming back in through 6 on a huge volume spike there. They had a COVID-19 test kit approved by the FDA, guys.
Man, loving life is, yeah, you're right, Russell Jackson. I probably do need a full-time animation pusher the way this is going, guys. And again, thank you for all of the love there on the chat. I know you are in on some of these plays with us, and that's just what it is right now for me. Okay, NVIDIA right now, we've just been such on fire over the last couple weeks that I'm really happy that we're accelerating our viewers as well through here. NVIDIA's going to come out on this 548 break, so watch out now. We've already hit that top. We let it run, man, like literally $14 in the money. Looks like we're going to miss out on some of that and give some back here as it comes back to break through 547.50. Like this level right here, if it comes back in, we'll get out. Look at the futures dropping. I don't have any shorts other than this monster on CCL. You know, we'll keep watching this one to go to the downside. It's now near its day's low. Like short here, 20 guys, short here again. And now we're just trying to cash out on that one. So we put it up on Twitter. You can follow us all on Twitter as well. The show, myself included, over 11,000 or so close to 10,000 and change followers on Twitter. Watch our plays, watch what we're doing on there. NEO, I'm not giving up on you, but I don't really have any levels to protect here. So we're out of NEO there. And it's been a monster win for us. I told you we're not going to average in, so we don't. We take one more shot like this. This was a nice average in 64.40 out 65. That's a $1 win, right? And then look what happens on this loss. 63.80. Look at the loss. 30 cents. $1 win on that reload. 30-cent loss right there. That's how I trade anyways, and I hope that you guys are liking the style and you're liking what we're doing right now. Time to look at more stocks though, man. SNDL up 9%. Let's go check out Mara. Let's check out some of the lead stocks.
Mara's taking off
there goes
top
NEO,
right
by the
now,
way.
23.60. Well, it's trying to take out the top right now. I mean, if you're looking below that 34,000, as long as we're below that mark on spot, I'm going to take a quick shot. If we get any kind of a turn here, I look to see a fail break, so through 60, doesn't get to 75, and then a quick little scalp short if I can, taking like 60 short maybe into like a 20 to 25 area. But first things first, got to make sure we recover back below that 60 mark.
This has just been, again, guys, I mean, it's just been such a monster day for me here, and we'll just keep on making it rain, hopefully, for you, for me, for everybody as we go. CCL, we've taken off a little bit of profit on that one. We did talk about that. So watch out here. We're pretty light on CCL right now, watching out for that one. We also do have this play, too. NVIDIA bounces basically right off of our level, man, 547.50. We don't get out. So now we get to enjoy this also to the upside. But what, I mean, you know, we're looking at other names. What about AMD? AMD's a call I gave all of you members here and anybody watching for free back down at 75. Shout out to Rob who did take this one. Now AMD breaking to the highest spot here. I do want to check out on Palantir. We haven't looked at Palantir in a while, but here's NVIDIA looking at that 97. What up, B?
Just noticing some of the energy names popping back to the upside, guys. We saw at the beginning of the show oil prices starting to bounce once again. So XOM here just going positive on the day. But check out this one, OEG, which is not in New York. OEG is on the NASDAQ. Here, we'll flip over to the NASDAQ. There it is. 14% already, just broke $4 there, but selling coming into OEG, guys.
Yeah, and NEO is starting to push. It just broke that 63 and is starting to push it a little bit lower. The pre-market low has held so far, like 62.40. You go way back into the morning here to be able to catch that price. There could be a possible turnoff there. I would have liked to see it test a little closer to 62.50 before dipping into that one. I am going to go quick if I can. Mara does not hold that 23.60 level. It looks like it's still on a bit of a break here, so going to back away from shorting that one, at least in the short term here. Twitter, I just got some shares out in front of 46, 46.18, my new average price. Let's see if that one can continue to test towards that 45 bottom.
Yeah, and we're just going to just keep on riding this. We're changing our stop right now up another $1 here to 548.50 now on NVIDIA. So we're going to give this one another $1. This is a $9 win right now. If you're joining us for the first time, what up? And thank you so much. Let's just check how many likes we have here and how many people we have watching. Hello, 12,000, 4,000 likes. Guys, if you haven't hit that button yet, let's get that to 5,000. We're breaking records right now. And with the way I'm trading and Neil's trading, so on and so forth, we should be snapping these records off right now, because this has just been a monster day. Guys, this stock given to you here, this was NVIDIA given to you. If you weren't joining us at the beginning, 540, I talked about that in the pre-market, 542 as well, and now we run to the upside like crazy on this name. NEO as well, man, 63, coming back into the downside there. We talked about defending all of these levels, and we're out, man, and then we got out on a break right there. That's been a big trade. CCL's trying to make its way back down. We got to watch, or back up, sorry, we got to watch this one at VWAP. It's been a big trade for us. We're very, very light, but we're not going to let this one go down. Thank you so much for that super chat there, Travis Scott. Very, very good. What do you guys might have started on a crypto crash? I haven't found much. Brendan can look at that. I don't know what's starting this, other than the fact that this is not really, I mean, it's a crash, but is it really? What's up, Brendan?
Another one to look at here, guys. Yeah, we'll talk about cryptocurrencies coming up a little bit later on, but Datadog, notice this one in the pre-market. There wasn't significant news on this, but big time volume just came in as we went through 103 there. We're kind of clearing some important levels on the daily chart for Datadog, guys.
Yeah, and speaking of big levels, look at this pullback in Baidu all the way down to, look at this this was like 229. That's the level I'm going to use here. It's right at 230. Baidu, we talk about sell the news. This is getting a little bit intense here, but I look at this little dip that it had on Friday. 229 was held. That's why I just picked up at 231. I threw it in the chat as fast as I could see it, but already in the money like $1.50. I mean, it's going to be crazy. I should not look a gift horse in the mouth. See if I can't scalp a bit, and if there's any consolidation down here, that is a heck of a gift horse. If there's any consolidation down at 230, certainly worth loading into a few more shares. If I can take advantage of this level, I'll do it all day. This is a 15-minute chart, so you can get an idea of just how far Baidu fell. Man, I wish it had been up at like 250 at the open, but it is what it is. It opened where it opened. Thankfully, we got a winner anyways.
We're almost 4 times our daily goal now here as things just keep on going. I did want to talk about coming up. Arun teased it a little bit, and then we do have our Q&A members only coming up at 11:35. Like, Sean, how do you take those winners? Neil, how do you take those winners? Brendan, what's up, buddy? Things like that. Questions you can ask us. You can ask Valeria as well. We're all going to be here, so join us for that. Members only. We'll take that off right now, but that's going to be a big show, hopefully, for you guys to come through and watch with us. We did it, guys. Superman is in the building. This is a $15 winner. You want the winners on board. You got them. $15. Whether or not you're trading equities like we are, whether or not you're trading options, this is $15 here on NVIDIA. Oh, yeah. We didn't show this yet. Oops. What has the 2 stars on that thing there, Valeria? You can look at that at the very top. And yeah, it's NVIDIA. So slam that. We slammed NVIDIA. Was my #1 call today. There's $15 for you. Brendo.
Wow, Crocs is $73 today, guys. Another one just popping up on volume this morning in the pre-market. In fact, had a pretty good move. They increased their 2020 full year guidance, guys, to they're now expecting record sales for 2020 for Crocs.
Just to having a quick look at this Signal Advance, it looks like. I mean, it's a pink sheet name here, so OTC name SIGL.PK, and it looks like Elon Musk telling his followers to use Signal. Yeah. That's the power of Mr. Musk, guys. This is up now 300%. It's trades in the OTC, and the volume isn't exactly crazy, but if you talk about some of the fallout, asking Trader Wattsies to use this WhatsApp rival signal. You're seeing what happens in the stock, so we're going to keep giving this story to you as Twitter fell. Actually, Twitter just bounced back up through 47, so I just took my shares off. But this name is going absolutely parabolic. Brendan, what's up?
It's actually worth a read, that story, guys. WhatsApp, anyone who uses WhatsApp, Facebook actually changed the privacy conditions and privacy settings on WhatsApp to go cross-platform, so they share them now both as of the new year. Starting January 1st, that went into place. So that was why Elon Musk actually said that, to go over to Signal, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on WhatsApp. But I mean, whatever. I love Facebook. Just buy Facebook, man, on any dips, and we'll do that exactly as well. But my call for the year, of course, was on the semis, and my call for the day, how about $15 winner right now on NVIDIA? So we still have this 540. It's going to show me 542, so that's $12. But if we keep this one, we did take initially that $6 winner. I told you we're going to try to hold for more, but we're 4 times our daily goal right now, and we don't want to stop, and we're not going to. So there goes NVIDIA. I did want to talk about QuantumScape a little bit here. I thought maybe they might be going to the upside today, because I did read a little bit of a note there on NEO. On NEO and what they're doing with their solid state batteries. So I sort of thought if QuantumScape's already in that space, this may be something to buy. I think after the show, we'll probably log in. I can't do any purchases in my own account. It's prop trading. They don't want us to be buying our own stuff here while the trade's going on. But I think that after the show here, based on a daily chart, QS dropping down to 50, I mean, if we can get anything around there, I think that's worth it. We did see it make it move back to 75. So QuantumScape on the watch. My out for this was 549, but we're going to adjust our, and oops, that's still QuantumScape. We're going to adjust our NEO trade here. NEO, and by NEO I mean NVIDIA, maybe get out here 553. If it does break, we'll take a $13 winner. But we're still pushing highs, guys. Let's go. Big time winner 4 times. We're making that money today. I hope you're enjoying the show, guys. Brendo, what up, bud?
Another one, Solo, guys, just popping up here. Probably the last one to go, but a little bit late as well. Just breaking day highs. 710 was a decent level. Now 7.25% for Solo as well.
Yeah, and man, we don't have any. We have no shortable shares of that pink sheet name we just talked about. So unfortunately, I'm able to take advantage of that to the downside as it comes back in. But look, it is what it is. You get the news. We had it coming from a trader here. I want to take advantage of it. Couldn't do it. Baidu is testing back down to the bottom here. I'm going to use a 230 stop. We already took a $1.50, but Baidu is still selling off rather heavily. So no need to stand in front of this train. We'll take our profits and run. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Another one, Twitter, guys, just popping up on volume here through 47, immediately through to 47.50. These pre-market levels, 47.75, and then kind of 48.5 was resistance in the pre-market. But buyers showing up, guys, for Twitter.
And buyers showing up in that ALRN. 155 is where my last bid was, or 157. It just bounced off of that price level. And we're right back to that entry price. Now, I'm using 180 as an out. So every time it pops into the mid-170s, it's worth a little bit of a reload. And then going to continue to have that same stop that I've had all morning long. It's been a solid stock, but you look at this bounce, and at some point, it's probably going to make the break, test $2, which I think is probably a decent level to re-engage at. But it's rinse and repeat. I've done it a couple times here. Now it's showing some signs of strength, so I won't have as many shares if it breaks 180, I should say, as I did have in the pre-market.
I mean, I don't really have much going on right now. I'm trying to find some more symbols here. I've just been enamored with what's going on right here. Yeah, what's up? I have no idea what Greg was talking about there, but watch out for Palantir here. Now it's starting to rip up.
What the hell?
What's he talking about?
Never mind. It's that pink sheet name.
Okay.
It just doubled.
Palantir right now, 10.50. 10.50. What am I talking about here? I was looking at the trade that we have $14 winner, $14, $15 winner on NVIDIA. Palantir, let's just check back on this one here on a 1-minute chart. Great opportunity to buy the bottoms there, but we're not really doing that until we get to 23 and change. This was a beautiful spot to go long, 24.80, 24.70. Wow. Now we come back to the upside and watch out what's going to happen right now on Palantir through 26. Let's go to a 3-minute chart, just a bit longer for you. Kevin O'Leary, if you're joining us for the first time coming on Friday, we're going to talk about risks associated with day trading, get some of his picks for the new year. What about a 26 break? Let's go 26 break here on Palantir. Watch out for 26.25. I love Palantir for the new year, guys, and it's the new year, so I love you, Palantir.
And Twitter just making a bit of a rollover. Now this time at 47.50. That's just me missing the turn here. So whatever, it's gonna happen every now and then. I was like looking at the level 2, waiting for it to come back up. I did get into the short again and get in front of 47 and got out, and then try to get in front of 47.50. And it looks like 47.50 would have been the win. Of course, you've seen me miss that one. So I don't know, what can I hit here? Bit of a roller coaster ride on Twitter. There you go, up and down and around, and man, that was a good turn. You're now down through 47 again, so I was looking for that short. I couldn't catch it. That signal. 70? Wow, this is the problem this is the thing with the OTC market, Sean.
Yep,
when
what's
the
that?
volume isn't there, liquidity isn't there, you get nonsense like this. And yeah, at some point it's going to be the short to end all shorts, and probably the short to end some lives. Or not lives. Some accounts as well, that SIGL.
We don't have it though, you said, right?
Sorry, we have no locates on it, so we couldn't go.
Oh, we have no locates on it. Ah, okay, I get it. Yeah, geez, I mean, unreal, that stock. So no locates means we're unable to go short on that one. So sorry about that, guys. That's what I was just discussing there with Neil. We did not get any more long, which is really a shame here, Neo. But I mean, where were we going to go long? Maybe on a back break through 63 there, we could go on that one. I did average. I am now short here on a 3-minute chart. I wanted to defend this 47.50 level here on Twitter if we can get it. So we are short now, with hopefully some more shorting available to us at 47.50 as we get higher. I was going to short when it's really close to that, like 47.40, 47, maybe 30. We'll start to average in more to this trade. But we're light right now. I just want to tell everybody that we're not. I think Twitter probably was overdone, but again, it's a big story, so we got to watch it. 47.30, good time to average into the short rate here, I believe, on Twitter, guys. Anything you want to say, Neil, before we throw it?
I finally got into it. I mean, this is a turn that I missed in the 20s. I'm going to take it right here if I can, see if I can't add, like you said. But it's 10 o'clock, and this has already been quite possibly one of the most active and one of the most fun mornings that I've seen in recent memory on this show. So thank you guys for tuning in. Time to get to Brendan and happening now. Let's see what we're missing out on. Not much.
Yeah, just like that, 10 o'clock, guys. Let's have a look at North American markets. Still negative. We still have the NASDAQ leading the way to the downside, although you can see we're coming off the lows. Still 1 full percent for both the composite and the 100 when it comes to the NASDAQ. The Dow also 0.4%, S&P 0.5% in negative territory. The Russell as well, full percent to the downside. So negative right across the board. But as I mentioned, coming off the lows a little bit. TSX here in Toronto, just negative 0.2%. Down in Brazil, they're off about 0.5%. If you're joining us down watching the BOVESPA this morning, a couple of things from the watch list to keep in mind. This Eli Lilly, positive news, big pop in the pre-market, tight consolidation forming. It's Eli Lilly, so it's about $5, but 186 on the top, 182 on the bottom. That breaks either way. It might give you a trade, so worth a watch still. Eli Lilly. Mesoblast as well. This was a great fade into 13 this morning, which I wish I was watching this. We're off $2 from that, but you can see trend is your friend. MESO, guys, just going straight southbound.
I love this comment there. You're welcome, Manny D, and shout out to Brendan for this one as well. Neil as well. Just made $4,000 there on SIGL. Whatever that is. Yeah, thank you. Sometimes I feel very similar to those opinions when we trade these random stocks there. Whatever that is, who knows? But good call there. We did take a short on Twitter, so that's a loss there, but we did punch a little bit long just to see what does happen here at 48. So we're back to long, 57.58, 47.58 right there, and we took about that's 47.90, then we average in at 30, so our average price was about a 20 hit down there at 50, so about a 30-cent hit or so on Twitter. Let's see if it can keep it the music going to the high side right now on Twitter. And by the way, guys, an out on NVIDIA. So there it is. It's $13 from our initial in and 11 from the top. So Russell Wilson, you can no longer cook, my friend, because you'll be taking the whole off season to figure that out with Sierra. You guys can probably cook up some good meals there. Good luck with that one, but you're eliminated, my friend, and we still continue to cook. So keep watching us, guys. It's been a big day here.
Yeah, they weren't doing much of anything good in that game. Twitter, 47.75 actually for the pre-market level if you look at it here. So I'm going to give it to that 75.80. I got back into ALRN as well. And if Twitter breaks this level, I'm still looking at some point for 49 to 50 was the first idea that I had to the short side. If it gets there, I'm definitely going to go back into that trade. I got into ALRN again. I remember I told you guys I took this one off when it broke that 180 mark, but it basically went nowhere. It went like 5 pennies and turned right back around. So I'm just gonna, I got back in at 82, and if it breaks at 85, I'll just get out. It's a very tight stop trade, but man, if we can get back to the 170, you get like 10 to 12 cents to be able to risk like 3 or 4, and then maybe hang on to some back down to that 55 to 60. I just feel like the risk is certainly worth the reward. I wanted to be trading Boeing today, but it's not breaking that 200, 201 area. It's not breaking the top through 205. I thought there'd be a little more activity. Of course, we do not know the details, of course, of the tragic crash. So, Brendan, what's up? Some news.
Sean was talking to Mark in the pre-market here about this one. Triple D, yeah, 18% again today, just straight to the upside. As soon as the market opened here at 22, we're up to 27.5. 3 days in a row now, guys, for Triple D.
Yeah, buddy, that's why we bring it. I mean, that's the action that we've got here for you guys here on the show Triple D, and that's why I bring it up to Mark, because we were talking about that. He did talk about getting some pullback levels in there, and it's funny because I actually asked him, and again, shout out to Mark from Sun Lake Strategies, because we talked about buying into some of these levels here, 23, 24. It gives us that for sure, and then it breaks through that 24. Now you're off to the races there on Triple D. So yeah, congratulations to anybody trading here with us today. It's been a monster day for me, that's for sure. Palantir trying to go there. Twitter, we tried to get some off there at 75 when it did go upside there. We do have a 3-minute chart. We are long. I'll see if I can get some more off at 70. Sorry, well, I throw it at 70. If we come up to 70, we'll take a 12-cent win. We did take about a 25-cent hit on this short, so we'll see if we can get half off for here, make a little bit back, and then see what happens at 48. So if this thing can go back up to 48, we won't be positive, but we'll be much closer than we are now because we did short that name. Bed Bath & Beyond, wow, that name getting a little bit juicy. As there it goes, man. Thank you so much again. Twitter with a nice little spicy win, and now to the upside, so we take that one going. And here goes Bed Bath & Beyond now. That's 7% up there. Get short squeezed all the time. We do talk about that, so watch out for your Bed Bath & Beyond, guys.
Also, I can't believe I haven't talked about Sundial, which is actually over 150 million shares, up 12, 13%. Well, it's a very, very strong name the last couple of days, and that's why I've sort of picked my spots with it. It gets close to this 85 again. Now 82 is the pre-market high. If it gets up here to like 85, 90-ish, I'll probably look to see if I can't fade this one. I certainly have always liked the dollar to be able to play to the short side, but got to be patient because this is looking a little bit strong, and I want to time the shorts carefully here to make sure we don't get run over. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I just saw this one popping up. Clovis Oncology, a name we've talked about many times. They just updated their Q4 expectations for their lead drug when it comes to cancer treatment. I'm not even going to attempt the name, but CLVS. All you need to know is Q4 expectations on the sales side, way better than expected, guys. So 8% here for Clovis.
You know it's a mouth. You know it's got to be hard to say. Brendan's not going to attempt to say the name of the drug. You know it's going to be a difficult one. I definitely will not be. If the other thing I'm looking at here, and I should mention this on Sundial, if we get down below VWAP here and then can take a look at a break of this 673.50 area, so shows enough weakness to get me down there, I'll probably look for a break down short at that point in Sundial. So a couple of ideas there. Just quickly looking at spot price, still below that 34,000, and I'm looking you square in the face, Mara. Yeah, it did do that bit of a failed break through 24, and then starting to come back down. Now, if I miss this opportunity already, I'm not going to chase it too hard. I'm just looking at spot. If we start to fall off through 33, there's probably going to be a good dip through 22 even on MARA if that's the one that you happen to be watching. So just make sure you track that spot price because it's not doing a heck of a lot in this $1,000 range here in the last few minutes. But if it goes down, Mara has a long way to go through 22. Brendan?
I watched the clean energy names. Just saw this one, Fuel Tech, F Tech just popped up. You can see why. Huge volume spike came in there, guys, as we went through $6. So some of the clean energy names starting to show some strength.
Yeah, they are, buddy. And yeah, this is showing some strength too. So let's go, cash cow. Let's see if Twitter wants to keep, again, Bed Bath & Beyond, great stock there. We did talk about that a little bit. But here goes Twitter, guys. We did average into the short, but then we took the long, and now we're watching it break through 48. So a good little trade here, hopefully happening for us on TWTR. $47, $48 to the high side. Still good. Damn you, Neil. Good job on Clovis there, Brendan, for bringing that up. SIGL, thank you for the super chat again. But here here goes NEO. We're really, look at this, 40 cents now upside on Twitter. Wondering if we take it out at 48. I think we'll see if it can still run to the high side there on this name. Where did we get out of NVIDIA? That's always important to find out because we probably got out too soon. This time we didn't, guys. A nice little out on NVIDIA there. So I said to you, Neil and I talked about it all the time, that we're trying to do things a little differently in the new year. Not differently, but if you're sitting still as a trader, that's not a good thing. So we're going to sit here and see if we can adjust. And I've told myself that we're going to try to hold a bit longer because of all the love that I've gotten from you guys, always telling me, hey, Sean, look back at Roku. Oh, you took $5. Now it's a $20 winner. Well, I'm not going to feel those kind of ways on this kind of a trade with NVIDIA. Obviously, we got out of a little bit too much early, but whatever. I'll take a $6 winner. Then we averaged up to 542. Big trade alert on NEO there for me. Now we're waiting for Palantir, though. Palantir coming to 26. I'm thinking of a break through 26, but this 25.40, let's go to a 3-minute chart quick on Palantir here. We don't want to miss anything. Okay, the 3 doesn't look super spicy. We're just looking at this level break up here of 26. We got some bounced levels there before. I am very, very cautious of what's happening right here at 25.80. I think we'll take a small long through 85 and then dump it if it comes back down to 40. So let's see if we can take, again, about 40 cents worth of risk breaking through 25.80. See if we get that up to 26. But I kind of like this trade here on Palantir.
Yeah, I'm back over at this TRXC. It's over on the Amex here. I did trade this one in the pre-market. It was a good win, and then a very tight stop loss here. So actually, well, I made like 2 cents, so we call it a loss because I shouldn't have been in that trade. Should have waited for this move at 9.30. It did flush off of this price and go back to 150, but now it's retesting $2. And it's not that there's a gigantic level there at 2 even, but I'm starting this position at 93. I'd like to get some at 97, 98. 2 even is going to be an obvious out for me, but if it can roll back to VWAP, I'd be very happy with that little return. If it breaks the top, I'd be looking to see what happens at 230. 230 is going to be that pre-market high. If it rolls to that price, I'm not reversing long. I would look for my next short to be there at that 240 mark, guys. 230 mark, guys.
Okay, 230 on that one. Okay, good call there. What's up, V? How's everything going? Let's do a like check when we get a second with Valeria, guys, please, and thank you. We are going to wait for 25.80 here to come to the high side. So let's do that and wait for that trade to come through on Palantir. So that's one that we're getting a little bit aggressive with. We're going to take some 80s in hope, guys, and it's just a hope that we eventually get to 26. And again, I like it. We'll average into this bottom here, 25.40. And we want to take some shares if we get into the 50s as well on Palantir. So that trade possibly coming through on Palantir. So let's wait to see if we can get that 25.50, 25.40. And then we're going to drop it, I guess, if we break back down through 30 on Palantir. So we'll see if that name's going to come through. And again, a check back on NEO. We did talk about that a little bit today. What a move back to the upside. We did miss some downside moves. So I'm going to wait for it probably to come back to VWAP here. We can check out a 1-minute chart. And again, congratulations to anybody holding NEO. I'm not holding this stock. I wish I was in the longer term account because it's a pretty sweet one. I ask for it for you. Valeria, give it to him.
Hey guys, what a wonderful day. We've got record number of viewers, record number of likes, and we're just 400 likes away from reaching 5,000. So let's get it right now. Back to Sean.
Okay, Fred, we'll do that. And this is what we do on the show. I mean, how many shows are you going to get access like this? Tesla looking at bad European sales. If Brendan, if there's news on that, if you could check that out, what up on that news? So we'll look for that to come through. And that's leading me right to this. And why not talk about this right now? Coming up, guys, members only Q&A. Let's do this right after the show. If you're a member, it's $5. It's $4.95. You'll get a link. You can talk to us. We make calls on stocks. We look at charts. You guys can ask us, why does Sean do this? Why does Neil do that? Lots of opportunities, unfiltered. Well, they put a filter on me, but unfiltered for our talk. So join us at 11:35, I think it was. Square also, guys, we talked about that today. Watch out on some Bitcoin news, but Bitcoin's battling back a little bit.
I mean, it's still in that range, 33 to 34. I mean, it's actually trying to break down to the bottom. If it breaks that 33, watch out for more. But I'm looking at this TXRC. I said TRXC. If it got to that 230, that's going to be what I'm looking for in the next level. 2 even broke. No long for me. waiting very, very patiently. Yeah, it's trying to turn here at 215. You're seeing it sort of stall out a little bit, but that is not the level that I want. I want a test of the high of the day. I want a failure before I even jump into this one to the south side. But I'm watching Mara very closely, as if we break this 33,000, the next move for me might be shorting Mara on that break. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, there was this number, guys, that came out this morning. Tesla sold 23,804 China-made Model Ys specifically coming out of Shanghai. Remember, this is the car that they're selling also in Europe, so there is a European tie there. But that number out this morning for Tesla, guys.
Okay, so that's what it was. So that makes sense. We will look at Tesla right now. I'm still looking at Square. I'm looking at NIO, but we've already really done quite well on that stock. So Tesla down 4.5% right now. Trying, man. It broke through that 870 level that we talked about earlier. That was in the pre-market. What? Wow, we went down to 820 on Tesla. Okay, missed opportunity alert on that one. Big time trade, but there goes Palantir, guys. Let's see how far we can go on this one. We do take a 54 there. We'll see if we get some out at 79, 78, a 20-cent win right now. We're feeling like Superman all the ways here on Palantir. We averaged into that one. We didn't average in. We waited for it to come back down to defend this 40 and 30. Good trade there as we bust to the high side now. Beautiful win here on PLTR, guys. Let's go.
And we're getting very, very close to that TRXC level. It's going to be 225 or so before I start getting a really good look at it. If you're looking at the level 2, which I have up, it's not a tremendous amount of size at that 230 price. It is just the pre-market high. So this is not one of those blindly jumper in front of it kind of things. We're looking to see if it turns right at that price and see if I can't get a quick action there. A bit of a stall out at 26.27 in terms of bid stacking up. So I'm going to jump in at 27. It'll end up being maybe 5 cents of risk when it comes to slippage as well. So when it hits that 5-cent mark, I'll start scalping a little bit to the downside. If we can get a nice little quick in and out win, that's what I was looking to get on TRXC, and you're already seeing it happen live. So we'll go with slaying some dragons here every now and then. I like these opportunities. Why? Because the structure of the trade is not a difficult one. I know exactly what I'm looking for on the way in. I know exactly what wrong means. Wrong is a simple break of that high of the day. And as you see me actively get out of some shares here, it's just muscle memory, hitting the keys very fast, adding some liquidity on the way down. I want about a third of my position to see if we can go all the way down to $2. But still, no matter what, my out is going to remain up at 230. So nice little scalp trade. We're going to get basically from 21s down to about 15. So the average win is from 6 to 12 cents, right in that pocket that I like. Usually it's 8 to 12. But it was 27s I got, not 28 or 29. Now we'll see if we can ride the rest of this down to about $2, guys. So, obviously I could have taken a long break at 2 even, and I've talked about getting better at doing that when a stock is strong, taking advantage of it both directions, but I knew I wanted that short off 230. At least we've got that.
All right, guys, and just like DJ Khaled, we got another one right now. We just tweet at DJ Khaled, and there's Palantir, guys. Follow me on Twitter. You want some fun, some excitement, you'll definitely be able to see that there. Look at this, bang, bang, and we go long at 80 as well. In the money up to 93. Man, we did this. Look at the stocks we have on board right now. Twitter, 55 cents in the money. You're welcome on that. And then Palantir, also 50 cents in the money. So just multiple wins here. Let's go. Give it to him, Bren.
Big crazy mover from last couple of weeks, guys. BNGO, Bio Nano, just breaking back to the downside. Wish I saw it. $6 up here. Gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 tries at $6 there. We're down to $5.50 again for bingo.
Yeah, you're right. Sean listens to a lot of hip-hop songs. You are for damn sure about that one, Norbu. I saw something funny like the Nas of my generation versus the Nas of today's generation. If I can find that meme, I'll find it to you because that's quite funny. I like it. So, all right, as we go, we're still looking at that one. Let's check back in our NVIDIA play. So we still do have Palantir here. We'll probably get some out. This is a big trade. You can see where we're long at. We're long at 82, but we've just cleaned out of our 55. So a good trade there on Palantir. We'll get some more out here at 95. And again, we just tweeted that out. So watch out for that. And you want some more hip hop problems. I mean, the more money, more problems. And guess what? I got a lot of problems. So let's go.
Yeah, and I haven't hit this one in a while, but I love the arrows down. Every now and then, it's just as simple as what goes up must come down, and that is a hip-hop reference, but you know it's an old one, Sean. So 2 even, that was a target, the ultimate target in TRXC. I just got shares out when, look, in front of 205, and I actually had some still on board, so when 2 flushed, I took the rest out. I have basically what's going to end up amounting to less than 5% of this position, and if it goes to VWAP, fair enough, but I'm not going to let this come back to like a 210 area. Waited patiently for that 230, that's what it's always going to be about for me here. I do still, I do still have a quick look at that SIGL. Of course, we didn't take this trade. For anyone that actually, for whatever reason, is watching this or trading it, insanity ensued. It got to 72, came all the way back to 22, which is where it was when we first talked about it, up to 56, and back to 32, which is a long way of saying maybe it's not the best idea to be day trading this stock unless you are prepared for these types of swings. Liquidity is a bit of a concern when it comes to SIGL over in the OTC, guys. It's going absolutely nuts. I wouldn't necessarily recommend trading it. If you made some money, fantastic on the way up. It is turning around now. I got in and out here right at VWAP on Mara at 22. Mostly because I was watching spot and it never continued through that 33,000 price, which was what I was looking for. So I got out. It did give you the scalp for 30 to 40 cents. So a bit of a pie in my face because the trade would have worked, but I was basing it on the spot price instead of the direct momentum in Mara. Whether that's right or wrong, it was my plan. So I get out, take like a 10-cent hit. It is what it is. You move on.
Yep. Okay. We did it again. I mean, there's Twitter, guys. This is $1 now in the money. It does go $1 and change into the money. We talked about going long here off of this. We did get some out there at 47.71, and now Twitter's $1 into the money there. So big trade alert on Twitter, still going to the high side there. And there you go. You're welcome, Byron, for that one. Boom, Byron. Let us know what that's for, but I think it's for the show. Big show there. Neil having the big wins there. We're just crushing it on this side as well. So again, congratulations to anybody that's been trading with us. A big time win here. Palantir finally going to the upside as well now, breaking through 26. And by finally, I mean, hells to the yeah, man. I mean, this has been a big trade for me today, guys. We are initially long down here, 25.50. Look at us just keep on motoring to the high side. I love you, Palantir, as we just keep on going. No negative stocks today. No problem for us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 today on the stock market. So been a good day. We're back. And welcome to another exciting show. We're not going anywhere. We're here for you live every single day. It's been a big monster show, and I sure as hell hope we have 5,000 likes yet. And there it is. Thank you very, very much. Superman is in the building. Let me know if you like the trades on the chat, because so far it's been a banger, and I challenge anybody to do what I'm doing for you guys here live. Bring it on. Challenge accepted. Anybody you want. Let's go.
Apparently Roku's making some moves today, and it's weird. Like, if I take a stock off of my list for like even 1 minute, it's like always the wrong thing. I should always second guess myself when I'm going to remove something from my hot list to like my other quote board. But 400 gave you a break, 395. These are sort of obvious, like round number levels at 395, and of course that 400 consolidation, and then breaking out again. It seems like you just cannot stop Roku. You know what? You don't need to. Who cares about the daily chart? Whatever. You guys all know what the bloody daily chart looks like on Roku, but this stands out like a sore thumb when you get this kind of a breakout. Maybe it gives you a dip into VWAP to get back in, but you do not want to chase something you missed out on, so I'm not going to fight that one. But I'm not also going to be removing Roku from my hot list anytime in the near future. That was a huge mistake to have done that. Brendan is at the big screen for the small cap recap. I only have ALRN left out of these names. Let's go to him.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's have a look at a few that we were watching in the pre-market. I mean, this one, Neil was discussing huge monster gap to 230 for TRXC this morning, still 70%. $2 and then 230 was that kind of pivot in the pre-market that you want to look at. So $2, 205 even here, and then 230 above that. So nice flush off of the open down to 150. 230 down to 150 on a dollar stock. You got to take that 230 test again, working into a position same as Neil, but still holding half of that. I think we can get further back to the downside for this one. LMFA, yeah, this was the one I was most excited about in the pre-market and ended up being the most disappointing. This 320, 330 area. Resistance in the pre-market got tested, broke, so working back in through 3. We're down to 260 again, but not really doing much. It's a little bit disappointing as far as volume is concerned. I want to show you this one as well. JAGX from last week had a huge flush off the open. 430 and then 440 was the top from Friday, all the way down to 320 here at the bottom. So great opportunity for JAGX as well. Another one looking like it wants to retest day lows. Guys, back to you.
All right, JagX. All right, JagX. I see you. Let's just keep on going here on the high side there. Look at Palantir, guys. We give this one to you all the way back here at 25.50, and you're seeing obviously what it's doing right now. So big time there on JagX and still going to the high side now. Sorry, on Palantir. You just talked about JagX. 26.20 there, so felt ways there on Palantir. So that was a good trade. It's coming back in, though. Watch out for these futures dropping right now. Not really sure why that's happening, but they are. So we got to watch out for some of these trades. We are taking some Palantir off. We're very, very light on it. Again, we have about 10% on this one. I am also trying to watch like a hawk here, Twitter, because it's trying to drop down below. Back down below 58.40. This is another 95-cent win on that name. So $16 winner at the maximum. I guess it was 17 on NVIDIA. You guys see these buys down here, out, and then out for 13. That was a big win. And then NEO today has just been crazy for me. My number one stock by far is NVIDIA, so we'll watch that. And then Twitter, we're getting that back to positive here as 48.80. I think that's a good spot to get out if we can. Maybe even 65 right now. Let's not get too greedy. But Twitter, big time trading here happening.
Oh, I actually missed this sundial the first time when I rolled through VWAP, but that 73.50 level certainly worth a look, and a bit of a seller at 74 as well. If I can quickly show you here before we go to Brennan, maybe like 300,000 shares or so at 74. I like 73.50 anyway, so just got into position there at 73.4. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
This Mesoblast, guys, just tested VWAP there on a smaller time frame around 14, but got rejected pretty hard. You can see monster sellers stepping in there at 14 to the downside, but Mesoblast, this thing's crazy. Moves dollars at a time, guys.
That was on our watch list.
We like dollars at a time, that's for sure. Okay, Palantir coming back down in. We still have our stops down somewhere around here, 25.77. Big trade for me on Palantir, but it is coming back down. I want to give a shout out to all our chefs at the Cactus Club. Hope you guys are staying safe. It's a nice little joint here in Toronto. Don't know if they're worldwide or just Canadian. They're probably Canadian. I know there's a few other spots near Sherway Gardens. What's up to you guys as well? But I know there's a lot of chefs in the back kitchen watching us there at Cactus Club. So shout out to everybody over there. Okay, that's Palantir. Triple D's. As we get going up to the high side there, watching out for this 26 level. This was a level that, Mark, we talked about buying into dips here when you're looking at some of these names, and Triple D has a good opportunity here. Breaking back through 25.60 could be a good opportunity. It's just going nuts, man. 19 million shares. I don't know. Facebook is a name I want to get into before earnings come. I think Facebook blows them out, but right now, a little bit of problems to the downside as we watch out for Capitol Hill. Apparently, President Trump was going to speak today, something about big cap, so we'll see if that comes through, but Facebook battling back to the high side. I think this is the tech that runs the most heading into earnings season, so watch out for Facebook here on any pullbacks.
Yeah, got a double dip entry into that sundial off that 73.50 area. That 74 order is still there. I was able to get some out at 72 and then see if it works back down. If it beats that price, I'll likely look to take most of it off in front of that 70 even. But I wanted to quickly, if I can, come back to Twitter. It's starting, like Sean already mentioned this, and oh, look at those wicks all the way down to VWAP. I like 49 to 50, but this top is at 48.89, so if it doesn't enter that target range, it's the only reason I didn't jump back into this short. You have to sort of stick to your plan, and it didn't quite get to the price I was looking for this rollover. And look, it's going to be maybe a fantastic one. I just will go without me on board. So we had a good one at the beginning, got greedy, and then turned into a loser by getting these shorts in here on the way up, and then eventually missing what was maybe the home run trade over there on Twitter at that top. Just going back to Tesla, I know we touched on this a couple of times here, Brennan, coming with some of that news out of European sales. 850, a bit of a battle being waged in terms of consolidation off of this level, but what a bottom this thing put in at 815. If it does make another push to the upside, I mean, always look out for that 885, of course, but this pre-market top at 870 is probably going to stand in its way. I think both those could be worth another short opportunity, as good as it was on Friday. And this 850 battle, if lost, you could always take a short at 45 using 50 as your stop, which is not a horrible one there. I have to go back to that TRXC, I should say. Where did it go on my quote board? That is ridiculous. I don't know where it just literally disappeared on my quote board here, Sean, so I'll have to get this one added back and see what happened there.
Okay, yeah, figure that out, no problem. We'll be back. Palantir there, we just dumped a little bit there on a 26 break. That is correct. So although our long on this one shows 26.05, you guys know that we were hella long down at the bottom. So we're just dropping this off just to make sure. We always talk, we don't want winners to turn into losers, but that hasn't happened at all today for us. As CCL, man, big time win on the short. Bang, bang, bang. We destroyed this short on CCL as we go. NIO, so that's 1 for 1, right? NIO, one of my biggest trades in a long time off the open. You saw me going crazy, and I hope you did as well. We have the high of the day, 66.75. We have that out on NIO, so NIO there, NIO symbol. NVIDIA, probably one of the biggest trades. That's 3 for 3 here on that one today. Palantir, okay, 4 for 4 here as Palantir just continues to go higher. We're almost near the high of the day on Palantir, and we've been buying low. So that's 4 for 4. And then Twitter is about a flat trade, so we'll go 4.5 for 5 here because we did short this one, we did take it out, and if we would have got the ultimate bottom, that would have been good. But I guess we only have 1, 2, 3, and we've been trading a little bit of GBTC, and we have had some wins, some losses. We are positive on that stock, but not enough for me to write home about. But so that's a nice little 4.5 out of 5 day I'll give myself. And I did want to give another big shout out here to the last couple members. If you're joining us today, what's up? Randy Huang, you'll get that message as well. Jay, come on, let's go. To Fractal Surfer as well. And a big thank you. I'm sure glad you found us too, Steven. Easy way, fun way to make money. That's what we're doing so far. May not go back to a real job. Look, man, don't give up your day jobs for this, I would say. But if you're having fun like us, that's why I say, Neil, all the time. I say to my wife, hey, look, I love you. I love my family more than anything in the world. But I do love Mondays because Monday means I can come back to you guys and then just pay for everything that we spent on the weekend.
You don't always have to spend on the weekend, but yeah, it certainly it doesn't hurt to have mornings like these. Wow, talk about selling it short on TRXC. This is what I was trying to bring up to you. Maybe got out a little bit too early, but I did have that targeted too. And the reason for that, just this pre-market level here, like 195 top, open top here, 192, and then that breakout that happened at 2 even. So that's why I'm going to get out almost every single time in front of $2. But it's starting to consolidate a little bit lower. If we can hold this sort of 185, this previous level at 192, that target range, I'm going to look to short it one more time here. Well, I shouldn't say one more time because there's a lot of day to go. It's only 10:30, people. So one other time, I'll be shorting this one off of 185 to 192 as long as we get this nice little consolidation that we're seeing. Just to go back over to Sundial, got a little bit out. 72s, the 73 half, took it out at 74, so risk to reward still solid, but I like that 74 because there was size there, nothing to do with VWAP. If I was short in this range, I would have held it, so 76, sorry, I would have held that up to like a 77 area, 77 half, but the next look for me on Sundial is going to be shorting off VWAP when it gets there, and watching Twitter continue to fall, guys. Looks like it is not going to get to that $50 for me to jump into it. Brennan, what's up?
All right, guys. Yeah, I was just checking out some of the cruise lines here. Carnival Cruise did update their cash burn for, I think it was Q4. Yeah, I'll double check. But Q4 here, cash burn was a little bit lower than expected, so positive. So CCL trying to go positive here through 2040, a bit of a level if you go to the daily time frame. $20 the big one though, and it is holding at the moment above that $20 level. So some of the travel names starting to show a little bit of strength as well. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe this morning. There's an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are mostly in a negative territory due to the growing coronavirus cases. British retailer JD Sports is up more than 4% after a strong trading update. Back to you.
Yeah, I did notice some of the retailers here as well. Another group, guys, starting to show a little bit of strength.
Absolutely. And speaking of strength, I mean, Bingo's not showing a tremendous amount of it, but it's worth remembering that the stock is up 18% on the session, and this was after they had that offering. Just so you can see here, it made a bit of a base at $4 before this gap to the upside. There's nothing significant about this break at 550, except for the fact that it is essentially a bit of a visible support level from the pre-market. But if you go to last week's highs, you get this 575 area here, 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times that are worth a look. So if BNGO holds below that 550 or it gets another break, I'm likely to short into this, showing a little bit of weakness, guys. It just sort of gave you that patented pre-market bounce at 8 o'clock or so. and then turn right around, guys. So if it holds below these prices, I might look at that one for another shorting opportunity. BNGO, haven't traded it today, but starting to look to get into it. Baidu, yeah, it's still in this range, guys. And look, ultimately, if I gave this stock a little bit more room to 229, I'd probably still be in it, but it's also not going anywhere. And if there's a bottom pick to be had, I can probably just get back into it again. I want to stay up on the stock. This was a crazy fall. It got to 257 pre-market highs here before coming all the way back in over basically exactly 10%, or just a little bit more than that to the downside. And it's now negative on the session. So I would hate for these floodgates to open at 229 and a break. But if it's going to hold this any longer, I'm probably going to take a long again off that low. I'm just trying to be patient with this name. And man, Twitter just keeps falling. That's going to be pie in my face. I kind of regret the fact that I'll be down on Twitter after having that crazy short off of the open and then loading into more shares and not waiting for 49. Boo, boo, boo.
Yeah. Lots of trades today. Oops, I got to make sure that you guys can see this, Twitter. Yeah, it's funny because I was just looking at this as well. And sometimes, guys, you feel like this when you get these outs. And I mean, there it is again. We got out there, 48.23 there, and now we don't have to worry about this drop right here. So a beautiful out on Twitter. Neil says all the time, sometimes the best trades you have are the ones that you don't have. And there's a get out right there. We don't have it now. So we are out of this name. What's up, Beep?
Another one, guys, Sarepta, remember on Friday, SRPT, this one went from 170 down to 85 bucks after one of their trials failed in a late stage trial, or one of their drugs failed, a late stage trial. But just popping up on volume here through to 88, gets above 88, 90 next stop for SRPT, most likely, guys.
Okay, look, I like this stock, but once again, Lemonade is just going cray. And there was this great turnaround, and we had a piece of this off of 168. It rounded out, consolidated like 165. We were able to short it into VWAP. It was a great trade. I actually took it off too early down to 150 as where it ended up going. Same thing happening again. It opens essentially, actually opened slightly to the downside, and then now breaking through this 160 where it closed. 175 you'd think would be the next level, but right now 172 is seeming like it's going to hold. I'll look to see if we can get a reasonable price in terms of shorts. And then if I do, I'm likely to take a shot off of this 172. If it goes to 175, I'm going to play off that level as well. And there's nothing against Lemonade. I just feel like, again, and it was a successful trade on Friday, so why not try to rinse and repeat it? It was a route. It wasn't quite this time of day when you had the big turn. It was after 12 o'clock, the bigger one, but I also had this short as well at about 10 o'clock, which is closer to this time period here. So let's take a quick look. But if it's like way too much for locates, I probably won't make the trade.
Okay, and so you want to trade some Bitcoin, huh? Bitcoin right now coming to the downside. I know Neil's been looking at some Mara right now. It looks like we're trying to break again. Oh, this doesn't seem like it's the right stock. That's right, 32,000, sorry, out of the downside here. Breaking again, lots of sell volume coming in. So watch out for Mara, watch out for your crypto positions if you guys do you have any? I just got to get back onto my screen here as we go. So, yeah, crypto making some moves. Palantir does go pretty high for us, man. 26.21. We are looking to get some out on that name. So that is not crypto, but that is Palantir. Sorry, I'm just sidetracked here with so much stuff happening. And we've got a couple positions on. Palantir is one of them. We are trading some Twitter as well. And we're looking at, that's what I wanted to look at, CRM today. I'm trying to pick, okay, good. I'm trying to pick some up. I don't want this thing to go too much here. I like these levels in CRM if you're looking for anything for a longer term time frame. I love a CRM trade here coming through. So watch out for that one coming. What about Nikola? Let's check back in on Fisker quickly to see what that's doing. 15, not doing much. I just try and check in on some of these electric vehicle names here. I think they all trade separately from NIO, but still very, very interesting to have a look here. Nikola down 3.5%. Watching out for 17 bottom on this name.
Yeah, and I just got into some Lemonade at 170 on a dime. Now that's a bit of a coincidence. Wasn't targeting that exact price, but that price area to be sure. So we got it, and we'll take it. See if it breaks that high of the day, and if it does, fair enough. Brendan mentioned another one here. I know you were just looking at Nikola, Sean, but Lordstown, right, still up that 5%, but this is starting to get a little sideways here. And what I like about these little setups is whether it breaks in either direction, the risk reward usually is pretty solid. as I like to play it, usually it's going to be a short for me on Lordstown. If I get it back through this like 23, maybe give it to like 23.35 or so, and then you work it down to VWAP, which is actually going to give you your first out probably about the 1-to-1 ratio for like 30 cents, and then if it goes any further than that, fantastic. So lemonade and short ALRN. I want to go to this name because one more time. It plays off of this. Like 180 level. Now I did take some out when it broke 185 because if it got to 2, I wanted to load back in. That's why you take a bit of a hit. Ultimately, I never got those extra shares because it stalled out at 191. So if it had gotten 94.95, I would have gotten back in. So it'll be a smaller position that we end up having if it does retest this 155 bottom where we were getting out earlier. So it's been a good one all morning long, but there's been a couple of tests to the upside that we've had to weather the storm through on ALRN. If it eventually breaks 155, I think the floodgates will open for the rest of the day.
Yep, agreed on all of those fronts, guys. Watch out for Amaran coming through to a stock near you lately. Okay, I'm trying to get out of some of these positions here. We're trading a little bit of Bitcoin here on the move back up. That's GBTC trying to bounce off this VWAP. We're going to see what it wants to do here. I don't know if it's going to bounce or what, but right now Bitcoin trying. We bust through 50 there. 7-cent win, not like it's huge. But Palantir, we're still waiting on that one as well. But right now, guys, it's been a big day for us on numerous accounts. Let's check in on JP Morgan. There's been obviously some talk about some of this space as we get closer and closer to Joe Biden coming through and then some new different moves happening as far as stimulus packages. But JP Morgan's still high. I'm just watching out for this 136. I don't mind this as a break. If you can see here, 135, 136 right here. So let's watch out right now for JP Morgan breaking back down through 136. A good little level. Check back on Morgan Stanley. That's another name that's a New York name. NY. That's another name that we always have on our watch as well, but we don't trade it that much. Morgan Stanley's been the pick of a lot of people as opposed to JP Morgan just for their trading wing, but I'm still looking at the same thing, a 75 break. Let's see if these banks are getting spicy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Morgan Stanley's definitely more of the investment, not the trade. I would go on a limb and say that, but it is sort of giving you that multi-day consolidation range breakout play. So, I mean, if you got a chance to go long at like 74, and it's not, I mean, I don't know if it's going there today. They have to go down like $1 from where we are. Maybe you can play the range, and then that gives you a couple of bucks. But Morgan Stanley, definitely more of a own, not traded name, I would think. Lemonade still holding that 170. We're gonna go to Brendan in a quick second. I'll come back. Got to update that TRXC.
Two things. LMFA day lows, if anyone's still paying attention to that one. Also, this one, guys, plug was down significantly in the pre-market. I mean, 44.5. Didn't get that low. That's a dark print, but 48 at least in the pre-market here for Plug Power. They updated their Q4 expectations to the downside. There was also a Moody's upgrade on this, even with the negativity, but right back to highs here. This thing about to go positive. Plug Power can't stop, guys.
No, you cannot stop it. But stopping the move to the downside is this TRXC. I think a couple of ways you want to play this. I haven't gone long on this today, but if it breaks like 185, I'll probably do a scalp long into 195 too. So like 5 to 10 cents, I'm looking for a bit of a winner there. If it breaks 170 down, I'll definitely look to short that one inside of the range. I'm not going to touch this stock, guys. So I think I'm going to wait for a move to happen. It just cost 100 million shares, so that's good. But you try to be patient, and patience has worked for me. I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4 shorts on it, but each time it's like I got in, I got out within a few minutes, or maybe even less than that, and then waited for my next turn. That's exactly the pattern I want to continue to do here on this particular stock. Whenever I see that one of these is a little bit strong, and I think it might test a high, I don't want to be holding short positions for very, very long in it. In and out is a much safer way to go here, guys. So that's what I'm going to do on TRXC.
Okay, we're waiting. It's almost time for Money Talks. We'll be going over some currencies. We'll be going over some Bitcoin and whatnot. But right now, though, more importantly or not, I don't know, sector watch. Let's see which sectors are moving this market, Brandon. Give it to us, bud.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll see what's leading the way so far today as far as the S&P is concerned. So well off the lows now, 0.4% to the downside. A lot of negativity still showing its face on this board, though. I'll start with the tech group here. We'll have a look at DXC, there's Adobe, PayPal, WU, and CRM. We mentioned a couple of those already. CRM, one of them, down 1.3%. PayPal, 1.8%. DXC, though, almost 4% to the downside, offsetting all of these semiconductors, NVIDIA, AMD, XLNX, 3+% to the upside. So overall, tech stocks just barely creeping into positive territory. Just saw Apple down 1.8% as well there. Big move for Apple today. Eli Lilly, 12% on that positivity today. Bristol Myers there, 3.3%. Biogen is here as well, 3.3%. So some of the pharmaceutical names offsetting weakness from the hardware equipment makers in the healthcare group. So healthcare stocks also about break even. Negativity, though, coming from industrials, the real estate group, communications as well. Mostly Twitter. Twitter 7.5% in negative territory. Facebook not far behind there, 3% to the downside. Watch consumer staples as well. We have some of the food names really getting hit today. Banks are weak as well. And I mentioned the little real estate group. The entire thing here in negative territory. Overall, guys, yeah, negative day so far, but there are some underlying names showing strength. Etsy, one of those. Etsy, 3% to the upside today, guys.
I'm glad you mentioned Eli Lilly there. I just remembered that it was doing absolutely nothing, so I just canceled my order, my stop order to break 190. I'm not going to take a breakout trade in the stock. It's literally sitting here, and it's consolidating its gains, which is fantastic. I think that's great, showing that sign of strength. It's not really pulling in any further off this little gap. But if it's going to test 200, it doesn't feel like necessarily today is going to be that day. I'll check back in the afternoon if we can get an opportunity at a 190 break, or maybe when we're getting towards the end of the show. At noon, it's going to be worth that look, but I just don't see it right now. Brendan mentioned that LMFA continuing its fall, and interestingly named SPAC is all I got to say. You can probably pick up the reference there. This is a level here. Now, I did short this little pop here and had limited success getting in and out very quickly. But this level at 250 to 260 is going to be a good one. It's a pre-market lows, but now that we're below it, I can use it as a bit of an out. So if we hold below, I'll call it like 261, 262. I'm going to jump into the short. I know it's a little bit further down in this move, but there's still room to go. I mean, this stock was at 60 cents if you want to go back to Thursday. So certainly it could fall even further. And if it breaks to the upside, I got 260 as a bit of an out. So I'm only risking 5 or 6 pennies depending on slippage. Brendan, what's up?
Another one to have a look at, guys. GM just popping up 3% for General Motors today. 44, looks like 50 triggered a huge order that went through there. So big volume spike there for GM at day highs.
Yeah, we like Ford, we like GM, we like a bunch of these different names. And Neil, looks like you're feeling the heat up in you. I don't know if anybody's
hot,
coming. Maybe if I put out an APB for this. Yeah, when Brendan's complaining, we know there's a problem. Okay, 2605. And yeah, we did it again, guys. This is Twitter, but we're not talking about that. Look, this. Oh. Okay, there it is. So my chart's now frozen as well. But Palantir, you see where we're long, 2605. It's at 2658. Let me refresh this chart. We're going to close it and reopen another one. Chart window not responding. So we'll close this and load up another one. But you could see a big move up for Palantir. Congratulations to anybody long this name in their PA like I am, guys. We're still long 989 or something like that.
Just got that break on TXRC. I talked about allowing it to break 170 to the downside or 185 to the upside for an entry into a position. Now I'm just going to scalp that first, anywhere from like 5 to 10 cents all the way down to hopefully will be a 150 level. This was a pre-market low. It double tapped it before giving you that crazy run to 230 that we were able to short the top of. So I know there's a ways away in between here. I'm trying to be patient in and out as fast as I can of these moves. If it has not tested 150 in the next few minutes or so, I'm likely to take most of this off. Around that 170 to 175 is a bit of an out. So that immediately working TRXC for us here. We'll give it a slap shot. Why? Because hockey is coming back.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about. So, of course, we'll see how the Maple Leafs do. Of course, we're always going to cheer for them regardless.
They're going to do great. I don't know how they're going to do.
I actually have no clue.
There's the new divisions right now, guys.
That's all I know about hockey.
Yeah, exactly. So that should be somewhat exciting there as we look to see. Just to check back here, we are trading some GBTC, but it's not really moving right now. It's stuck at this level. So we're going to have to watch to see what's happening right now with GBTC trying to go down. This is the gap down to $37. So we talked about looking at that a little bit on the show. So please keep your eye on that. And then there's the Palantir chart. We we do have that one now, the Palantir chart, so lots to look at there as well. 26.50 was the high. We're going to see about getting more into there. And then, well, we're still, I mean, we've been crushing Palantir today, so no worries on that one. But we are waiting to get out of some of the ether. And then NEO right now coming to the downside, so let's just wait to see 26, 65.40, 64.40. Looking at these bottoms, let's average in a little bit and use 62.50 as our bottom here for this.
Yeah, and another name here, ALRN, you're going to see me still in this one at 182. We got it at this price, took some of it out, held the rest, the other half, and got some 167 for a 15-penny winner. It's starting to finally consolidate below VWAP, so I'm going to see if I can't roll into some more shares. Not at 182, but probably in this 74 to 75 range. I can tell you, I'm going to cry over spilt lemonade? I don't know. Whatever. Lemonade's a great drink, but just broke again to the high. So it broke 172. We got out, thankfully, because it just broke 175 as well. So you can't seem to stop it. If it goes any higher, I'm probably going to take another shot at it. If this goes to $200 this week, which I guess at this point shouldn't be too surprising. I mean, this made sense to me at $70. It doesn't make as much sense at 175. I'll take a shot at it when it gets to 200, which at this rate is probably going to be this week.
Okay, apparently I'm streaming as my kids are doing their virtual learning. So what up, kids? But the wife said it's on mute, so they won't hear that. But if you are not on mute all of a sudden, make sure you study and keep studying, guys. And then one day, you too can start to day trade, and I'm sure they will. They've already made their first trades. I shouldn't tell that to compliance. Okay, 65. We're still waiting for NEO. We're going to take some bottoms here. If we can get it 63.30 or so. Brennan, give it to us.
Another tech company just popping up here, Sci-Fi Technologies. Not seeing too much in the way of headlines on this one. Sci-Fi Technologies, $284 million market cap. However, 45% here. Volume coming in through 230 here, guys. This thing just popping now. So 52-week highs for SIFY.
Sci-Fi?
Not a name I know. Someone asked about BNGO here. Someone in the chat, but I have not gotten into it. I did think there was an opportunity, and I did miss out on it when it sort of formed this level here around like 575 or so. I didn't get in. We could have used VWAP. Of course, I was looking at a couple of other names at that time. That's probably the only reason for you there, guys. Nothing against the trade opportunity there. CRM, we did talk about Salesforce getting the downgrade. It made what was, I want to call almost like a hero bottom at 216. You really had to be standing in the front of this train if you wanted to catch this long. Now bouncing a couple of times off VWAP here, and it does feel like, and we talked about this, if it ever broke down below that 215 level, it did not, so 215.50 to be precise, that's exactly where it bounced. Just in front of it. If it retests that low, I feel like the floodgates are going to open and you can wait around for like a 190. But I'd like to play this break of VWAP to see if it does continue this little bit of a downward trend that you've seen. It's still negative on the session, so we'll be taking a look at this one. For me here, it's going to be a 218.50 break. The breakdown's the only trade I want here on CRM.
Okay, yeah, we're watching, as I said, coming up very, very soon with Brendan, we're going to be looking at some of these crypto markets. They're still going nuts. Bitcoin trying to breach, again, 30,000. I don't know if that happens or not, but we'll wait to see on Bitcoin trying to make a move through the bottom. Okay, and then the other stock that we're looking at is NEO here. And I did want to look at Snap. I think Snap, obviously today, I mean, you want to talk about the missed opportunity of the day. I believe it's going to be Snap, and I don't think I'll be wrong on this one because look at this, straight to the upside. I mean, we've had NVIDIA long, I've had NEO long. It's been fantastic, but Snap, I guess today, feeling some of those pullbacks from Twitter, right? So I guess as Snap goes, it doesn't seem like they're on anybody's radar. So if you get booted off or you don't, I mean, I don't think President Trump's going over to Snap or anything soon, but I wonder if that's the story. Maybe we can find out, Brendan. I don't think Brendan's come with Snap yet. They might have got upgraded, but I'm just wondering if this is some sympathy here for Twitter. People rotating out of Twitter but want to stay in the social media space. Oh yeah, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, why is my WhatsApp kind of blowing up here? And I think it's because DraftKings. I got a lot of my friends into DraftKings in the mid 40s, and then today they're all happy with that. I'm not sure how their gambling went on the weekend, but it's really nice to see, guys. Congratulations to anybody. You guys know, again, if you've been joining us, I often make calls on stock and for swing plays and whatnot, and we did. I don't know where the daily chart is. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to recancel that one. But we've had DraftKings for a while now, so I just want to say congratulations to anybody that's been short with me as well. And what's up to all my friends? I don't know if you're watching, but congratulations to anybody that did go long DraftKings with all of us in the mid 40s. welcome to a beautiful return. That I would say don't cash out and gamble unless you're taking the Packers minus 6.5.
I love the throw in there. Yeah, they're probably not going to have too much trouble. Aaron Rodgers is an absolute beast. I want to go to ALRN if I can just for a quick second. We reloaded into some shares right around VWAP. It gave the pop right to 180 and then pop and drop, which has been the story in this stock. Every single time as it pop up, you quickly short it. It does like a couple of minutes, you get the drop. You got to make sure you take some profit out. Because it sort of snaps back in before consolidating each time. Last time I was able to get these levels here, like you get 5, 10, 15 cents almost immediately. This time, a little bit harder to get that move. So it's showing a little bit of strength and the volume is tapering off. So tighter ranges to be expected in ALRN. It is still starting to come, it's still continuing to come back in overall. But look at this range tightening up. Look at this previous low trying to hold here at 1.7. So 170, I should say. We anticipated that this would be a bottom at 155, 150 based on what happened in the aftermarket on Friday. Let's see if this 170 level plays against us here in our shorts. Make sure I take profit off in front of it to temper myself against that plan. If it breaks to the upside, this is weird, but it's the same thing as we were looking at in TRXC, where I'm going to stay away from $2 and look at 230 because that happens to be the high as well on this stock. It's kind of weird.
All right, we're trying to adjust. Oh yeah, here's the here's the DraftKings chart, guys, that I wanted to show you. This is why we bought, man. We bought on this 50-period dip, and that's sort of when I was like, hey guys, you got to get into this. And I hope you guys did as well. We got to fix this chart. That's supposed to be NASDAQ. That was a nice drop-off spot. We love the 50-period moving average, simple moving average. Just keep it simple, guys. I have that down there. Nice little trade back to the high side. I'll probably get some out, 55, 56. We're still long 35 down here, but that's a good trade for the upside. Check back in on Peloton as well quickly. That's another long-term call. Short-term call, but we made it back at 118. Nice to see this at 157. It was left for dead at 140 down here. That would have been a good pickup as well. But Brendan, this is the segment we all want to see. What's going on with crypto, bud?
Yeah, important levels coming into play, guys. I want to jump right into the chart, first of all, of Bitcoin and point out this 30,000 level that we came in from on the initial ramp to the upside. So tag 34 came in and held 30,000 as support. So we're basically right back down to that point. It's trying to hold above 31.5 right now, but these are significant levels from the initial push to the upside for Bitcoin. Yeah, off the highs, 42,000 over the weekend, all the way down to 30,000 now for Bitcoin. Couple of things at play. There's a lot of volatility indicators that are at or nearly beyond where they were back, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, February kind of through April of last year, where we had that first kind of collapse of Bitcoin. So a lot of those momentum and volatility indicators actually breached those levels when Bitcoin made its all-time highs the first time and then collapsed as we all sat here and watched. So there's a bit of that. There's also US dollar strength coming back into play with the political situation seemingly decided in the US. We see big moves in some of these numbers at the top end of the board here as well today because of the US dollar strength. So the euro down 0.6%, the Canadian dollar full percent to the downside today. I haven't seen that for a while. 78 cents. The British pound as well, 0.6% to the downside. You can see euro to pound basically flat on the day. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, both higher on the day. There's a little more volatility coming into play once again. And Australia and New Zealand, full percent moves to the downside. Turkish lira popping up there to the upside. But obviously the big moves at the bottom here, the cryptos, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all double-digit percent moves, guys, to the downside. Back to you.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the story. And we've talked about some of the symbols that you can play in, or that you can trade in, certainly to take advantage of those moves. Mara, I haven't been active in it after missing a couple of opportunities. Really got in and out once on a short, which, man, I should have held that one. But we're testing that again. We're trying to test off that bottom, like that 31 and change. If you look at the spot price, and if that breaks, wowzers, could we be looking at like that 28? Something along those lines to the downside. I finally got into this bingo. It broke that 550. I didn't get it on the way down, but it sort of slammed right back in here. So I'm going to start this position to the short side. Finally, BNGO. Bingo was his name-o. If it holds that 550, fantastic. CRM is the one that I think might come in if we get a break of this VWAP here, but it just bounced. Well, only about 70 cents or so. So it's not really that huge of a bounce. I just think if we break this, the way it fell on the open here after testing, like trying to get up to 220, the bottom just dropped out on CRM, and I think the same thing could happen if it breaks VWAP. Overall, the market's still slightly down. NASDAQ leading the way, down 1%, but Salesforce, good on them, of course, the Slack deal. If it breaks this, next level down is that 215.50. It didn't get there before, but that is a hard bottom when you look at that higher time frame daily chart on CRM. I'll look to fade into it if we get a VWAP break, guys.
Okay, and Neil right now trying to break down lower. Yeah, I mean, I love CRM, but like Neil said, it's been under a little bit of pressure there. 62.9, this is Neil here. Yeah, oops. Is it not changing my chart? Oh, that's a daily chart. Okay, so I got the daily back up. And now my I don't understand what's going on here. Now my 3-minute chart not loading as well. So we have an epic fail happening right here on the charting platform. So I can't even show it to you, but I did like Neo here going to the upside, breaking some of those bottoms. And again, I can't show it to you on a chart, but 63, I think we got to defend that level, guys. $63 on Neo.
Yeah, it happens. It's definitely been happening a few times here, but I'm showing you my 15-minute. There is also a level of 62.50. I'm just going to go here just to be able to show really early in the morning where this really started to ramp up. If Neil gets into that, or breaks that, so through 63, which Sean's watching, and through 62.50, you're probably looking at this getting a little bit crazy down to that 60 level. The last stock I want to get to, well, I shouldn't say the last stock I want to get to, but the next stock I want to get to is just back over to Lemonade if I can. It looks like 180 was a bit of a turn. Now, this is the short that I played off of, only risking a couple of bucks. Certainly that risk to reward is fine. At that price, I was thinking it could go absolutely parabolic again and go further than a 180, but it looks like 180 is where it makes a bit of a 180. If I missed the move, I missed the move. Over the last couple of days, certainly I'll still be up on the stock. But I want it testing a level a couple of times, which is exactly what I waited for on Friday before shorting it, not just jumping in front of the stock, because liquidity is not always the best. The spread 20 cents now, but trust me, it gets bigger than that on Lemonade. And the volume is okay, but this opens up in a hurry. That's why I'd rather play off a level where there is some sideways action, there is some consolidation, just a safer way to play this stock, because it'll go ham when it does actually break out.
Yeah, what's up, Beep?
Headline here, guys, on VUZIX, which is VUZI. On the NASDAQ, they're talking about a supply agreement with another company for micro LED displays. So this company makes those big, giant commercial-sized displays for public spaces. So a little bit of a pop here on volume, 1.3% for VUZI.
Okay, I just want to get over this because we are going to try to go long. Well, we are long. We're going to average in now. If I can zoom this in a little bit further here, we are going to go long now. So we are long Neo here. I told you we'd eventually look for that spot, and I think this is a decent one now that we have on board here. So we are long Neo now. A nice little win. 36s up to 50, 56s. Let's see what happens around 80. But here we go. We just take this, and we must get some out if we can. 58, 59. Boom! There you go. You want some excitement back in your life. There it is with Neo with a nice little win there. We did average in. Finally the charts load up there, and we noticed this little bottom. We talked about defending 63. I just wanted to see how far that went down, and it didn't, so that's fine. So we were going to average in. It's not a huge position, but hey, guys, we'll take 35 cents and we can get it. And speaking about 35 cents, there's another 35-cent win right now on Palantir, and this Palantir one is actually mucho grande than that, because we did have a nice little long at 25.50. So if you're still into Palantir, guys, congratulations. It looks like this is still going to work for us.
Yeah, definitely a good look over there. You can't get Neil's such a great day trading stock. You don't want to get too far away from it. I want to go back to Baidu. I did say if this held the bottom, I would be looking for a bottom pick. That's obviously what's happened. It just broke 230 to the downside, but there's been no follow through yet. So I'm still looking for an opportunity to get into this. It's just I want to see it break back above that previous low, that 229 to 230 area. If you go to the 15-minute chart, this is why on Friday on the way up, this was the pullback right into 229 and then eventually holding. So this is a big level here. If it can hold on to this and maybe form a bit of a base, I think we get a recovery. If this breaks, you are looking at a lot of gap to still be filled, as crazy as that seems, because it's already back 10% here on Baidu, but that certainly could extend down to like 225 and then that 220 level. If you go all the way into the morning on Friday when this entire mess started, sometimes they sell the news, and this is getting sold rather hard on Baidu.
Okay. On Baidu. Okay. Yeah, we're still waiting for this, man. I've still got NEO. My target's going to be upside now, 64. If we can get that, I mean, what a great trade. If you want to follow us all on Twitter, we're all there. We're all making money. We're all trying to give you guys the best trades we can find. So, and not only that, it's about education, right? We have education channel as well, Stock Market Wisdom. And then coming up right after the show, less than 30 minutes, it's $4.95 a month. It's all that we're asking for. We keep doing the show for free. And to give you back, we're going to do every 2 weeks. So every second Monday, we're going to come with a question and answer period. Today with Arun, hopefully next time with Mark Roberts. Maybe we'll keep rotating them. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to go great today anyways. So we're coming up with Arun coming up right after the show. So no rest for the wicked here, guys. We just keep on going as we watch NEO try to make a move to the high side. But I'm more interested in what's happening in Europe. So I'm going to have Valeria give it to you guys right now. What up, V?
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in the negative territory due to the increase in coronavirus cases. Switzerland is up 0.71%, Russia is up 0.8%, Germany is down 0.94%, and Britain is down 1.02%. Travel operator TUI is down almost 7% following last week's losses after announcing a capital raise. Back to the traders.
And there's a segment in the morning that I don't know, you guys have probably seen it. Brennan talks about some upgrades and downgrades. Look at Datadog here, up now 7%. It was very thin and the volume wasn't exactly fantastic in the pre-market, so that's why it wasn't necessarily a trade. But if it gets anywhere close, I mean, it'll have to stand a little bit further. If it gets up to this like 110, 112 area, now this is like 3 sessions in a row where it's making big moves. So I'd like to see it maybe give a bit of a turnaround. It's now on the radar for a bit of a short trade for me. If it gets to like that 110 to 112, it might end up being a little bit later on in the week, or maybe even in the afternoon that we take a look at it. I just got some shares of BNGO on a bit of a second rollover here. Now it's held this range. There was the break of 550, then held 560 here. I got in some shares at that price, but I was trying to get a few more to get a 555 average price. That hasn't happened. This 535 bottom is certainly where I'll take half of it out in front, but I got to every 5 or 10 cents take profits on BNGO, just given the nature of the way that it trades, especially at this time of day. You're not looking to get 50, 60, 70 cents on bingo if you're trading at 11 o'clock, guys.
No, you want to scalp. And that's the thing, guys. Have the ability to go back and forth, right? Neil and I, of course, will scalp. We'll do whatever it takes. We do have a video on scalping. That's out there as well as our charting video. So lots happening. And some trades are meant to be scalped, and some trades are meant to be held for longer periods of time. So just make your own judgment calls on all of those. Just remember, we trade differently, man, than most out there. So you got to watch out. I like to figure that we are like snipers around here sometimes, like including this Palantir. Some people would hold this forever. I just get in, and now we hold the 40, 50 cent win. Look at NVIDIA as well, in and out there. Ooh, NVIDIA now making moves to the high side again. But look, I'm really sure that this out was pretty good. We got as high as 557. I do want to look at NVIDIA one more time to the high side here if it does break that. I like Facebook, but Facebook's bouncing around 259 and change right now, so not super exciting here on FB. But again, looking at this 259.50. What is this level? 42. If the NASDAQ wants to continue to fall, then yeah, obviously Facebook will continue to be in a little bit of trouble. So watch out here on the high side of Facebook. I like a break, but I think we got to wait at least till 261. So you still got $1 to go for the break, and then about 50 or 60 cents on the downside move here for Facebook. So I like Facebook down 2.85. But if you really don't like the risk that's involved with Facebook, maybe Microsoft, because Microsoft's only down that 0.72 and really just hanging out all day around 218, 219. More work needs to be done, but Facebook right now still high side for some reason.
Someone, and it wasn't me that coined this phrase, someone called DoorDash the most ridiculous IPO of 2020. It obviously had a wild ride to begin with before reaching this bottom here, 135, where it's turned around rather strongly. There was a 140 buyer for several days that we talked about here on the show. It was like an immovable object. It would break. We got a nice win offer for a couple of bucks, and then just right back above 140 before finally breaking out. At some point, and I'm calling it now, well, I should say it's kind of already happened at 165, but I'm looking to see if this finally pulls back in. You did have a big time move up like this one that actually held, and this is going into last week, where it actually held the top. And it's another break. This time I'm not sure it's going to do that. If we can break down, I'm looking to see if we can't short something on this consolidation, maybe 62, 63, give it to like a 165 top. I know 166 is the high of the day. It's just so much room for this to fall back in. It is a shorted name. Guys, so you got to watch out at least a little bit for some squeezes, which might have already come and gone here on DoorDash. And it's only done 1 million shares of volume. That's another thing. Liquidity much lower than it was when it first started trading, guys.
Yeah, and again, that's just, take it for with a grain of salt. I mean, obviously on Twitter here, guys, we often get tweets at us and say, "Oh, are you holding these things or whatnot?" Look, we're trading. We're day traders, right? We trade. Try to get in and out of a lot of these stocks before the market closes. That's the Day Trade the World policy. That's who we're sponsored up with, and that's who we're trading prop here with. So the policy, guys, get out of your positions before the market closes, right? No overnight positions or anything. So we are going to be trading these positions a little bit differently than you guys possibly will at home. So definitely keep that on the lookout for us, and for some of the styles and some of the different ways that we trade. So I wanted just to point that out because it is a lot different than some of you here at home. I mean, that's part of the reason why, we get in and we dump that Twitter, why Neil was talking about his Twitter play and, why he wasn't super happy with it, even though it wasn't that bad, Neil. But we did miss the high side on some of those, and there's only so many opportunities that come through on a day, right? So we're trying to get them for you here. So glad you're with us, man. It's been a record day for us on the viewers, as you guys know.
Twitter, oddly enough, is it's still down 6%, but believe it or not, it's making a run to that high. So I still get my first feeling is going to be that if it makes this afternoon break at 49, it could be one of those like break up and then immediately you're fading off the 50 level. We'll see what happens. It's not there yet, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. BINGO and Bingo was his name-o. I don't know. I'm going to go with using Mortal Kombat for this one. The only reason is I feel like Bingo hasn't made a ton of sense to me. At least in terms of there was one shot to either have it right here, and if you don't have it, sometimes you just got to wait for it. And a lot of times, I would have been just very, very aggressively shorting the first break I see, but I'd rather see it consolidate off of this level, give you the sideways action, and then make a play on it. So I was able to finally get some more shares up in the 60s, and then I'll take some out when it just broke 550 again, and I got some out at 47, but that's what I'm starting to cover. I want to cover all the way down to 535 and see if we can't hold on. I've found, especially with some of these small cap names, if it doesn't make sense in the pre-market for me, or if I have one level and miss it, do not chase, don't get crazy in and around here, forcing trades in and out. Wait for exactly what you're looking for. It's shown some weakness. It's not going to the upside. It's definitely got the volume tapering off as well. All things I like to see around 11 o'clock, which is what we're trying to take advantage of. This last one is going to be a bit perplexing to me. Boeing is continuing to bounce here. So off of this 201 where I thought we'd get a breakdown trade, it's holding the highs. It's almost up to positive on the day. If it gets to 210, and again, we don't know the cause, we don't know the reason for the crash, and of course it's a horrible incident. But if it gets to 210, I think it's going to be worth an opportunity to sell that. The idea of it being positive at the close seems a little bit much to me, especially given that it was already trending down and the market is still holding down overall. You are looking at the daily chart. It was in the midst of a pullback anyway, so if it gets to that 210 level, definitely going to be worth a short. I didn't think it would be up here at 205 in the first place, but here we are in Boeing. Brendan, what's up?
A little one from the semiconductor group, PI. Just noticed this one, 52-week highs today. You can see 30% move to the upside. They increased their Q4 targets as well before announcing them coming up later in the month, guys. So PI, little semi, up 31%, guys.
Yeah, just a little semi, huh? Yeah, these semiconductor names just continue to go crazy here. We did have NVIDIA earlier. You guys know about that trade, so that was a good one for us. And now I was still looking at Twitter, but I don't have it anymore. The only stock that we have on right now is this Palantir. And I like Palantir. I don't think it's a horrible trade here. We're long and we're in the money. We're in charge of this one right now, 26.05, 38 cents upside there. Our NEO, though, guys, bang! bang just continues to keep on making that money. We haven't actually done a bang yet today. Where's the bang on the board here? You guys love the bang, I think. Anyways, I don't know. There it is. Bang. Oh, we haven't done the hot dogs yet recently. But there it is. Another one. We wait and we're patient with it. I told you guys we'd look at that. So we go long there, 39s. Out some at 62. That's 30 cents. And then out right ahead of 64.93. So there's another 60-cent win. I mean, look at the bottom. Like, it's running through. I know Neil has a hell of a lot of shorts. I only have one long right now on. That's Palantir, because we're hitting them in and out here as much as we can and making that coin. But you're going to see at the bottom, after it shows our positions, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. What we're doing is it'll show at the bottom our cumulative net on some of these names. So you're going to see on NEO, it's a big day for me. No negative stocks for your boy today. Actually, we are slightly negative on Twitter. It's been another big one. It's 11:10. We're back tomorrow. It's still 20 minutes left. Join us after the show, of course. What's up, Pete?
I mentioned this one right out of the gate this morning off the open was very, very strong. Crocs, guys, they updated their Q4 estimates as well to record highs. They're expecting record sales for Q4 when they announce later in the month as well. 76 just broke. Crocs, guys, at all-time highs.
Unbelievable.
So I saw someone say Neil's got a lot of open positions. Two of these positions I have are in stocks that are basically not going to move because I'm essentially market making on a couple of them. But Bingo's finally starting to make a move to the downside. I know I hit the Mortal Kombat a little bit early, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Thankfully, it worked out. I didn't jinx myself. It did start rolling over. Look, the bid was starting to evaporate. It was looking very, very weak, so I felt pretty good about it. But 535 was the bottom. I've gotten just about everything out in front of it. If it continues to flush, look for a chance that it can fill this gap down to 5 even. Now, obviously, it being up still on the session means that the offering was well received, but the floodgates could fill that gap into 5. And I think at this point, I'll probably I'll get the rest of these shares out in front of like a 520 and then in front of 5 even, trying to hold these a little bit further on the last little bit. But the bulk of the position is already come and gone in BNGO. Nice little short. I was patient with it, waiting for it to make a lower end range and then jump into the trade. I want to jump back to Baidu. It's not looking like it's going to hold that bid at 229, 230. Now down to 228.40, the new low, and it continues to test lower. So I'm going to throw that idea out the window for now. I'm not going to try to bottom pick in Baidu. I was thinking about it all morning long. I tried it once, had some muted success. I'm going to walk away from this. It looks like it still wants to pull back and sell on that news.
Yeah, Baidu. Wow, DraftKings, and again, and congratulations to anybody long DraftKings with me as well. We just went over this, but we can look at it again. Look, I'm already at doesn't matter how many X times our daily goals. We talked about that. I just hope you guys are there as well with me. Okay, DraftKings right now, 53 and change to the high side. Now coming back in, fading back just a little bit there on a 1 minute chart. I don't know where that gap is from there. I don't think we just gapped down. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, it was a big move. That'll fill up once this fills. But 53, a decent move down. But look at the market here coming through. I guess the news we just had up there was something about quick passage, a plan to block Trump or to remove Trump, blocked by House. Okay, so they're not going to be able to remove him from the seat right yet, as it looks like Jan 20th, I think, is what it's going to be. But there was some talk of the Democrats trying to get Trump out, but it looks like that's just been blocked. I don't know if that's the news here, but there is some movement down in the market. So we're watching as Palantir does fade right back in. Yeah, same kind of. That's still DraftKings. There we go. Let's swip over. There's Palantir. Big high side, 26.50. We should have got out, man. We're holding that 10%. You could see in, and then there's most likely 9 outs there as I have. That 10%, actually a little bit less than 10% as we go. I want to look at JP Morgan breaking through that 36 level. Not happening yet. You could see what this looks like right here. And this is a decent play to the downside. However, I don't know. That's the NASDAQ. Let's just check in quickly on the ES just to see. The NASDAQ's going to move completely differently than JP Morgan. We know about that. Bitcoin trying to breach 30,000 as well. Yep. There's the ES is still upside as well. So you can see the NASDAQ's double, right? There's ES minus 0.65. Arun talked about that. These are the S&P minis, and then these are the NASDAQ minis. We like to look at them. Tons of liquidity on these names. It's not like the simple exchange. Lots of liquidity everywhere on these. What's up, Beep?
Another one to look at here on the vaccine front. Just saw Moderna, guys. mRNA just popped up on volume. Just ripped actually $2.50. The EU just came out and said that they need to order more, specifically Moderna vaccine. So 4.5% now for mRNA.
They're loving the Moderna vaccine.
Apparently, well, I mean, the J&J one has a lot. It could be the one shot. a solution, also better in terms of storage, yada yada yada. But it's not actually at that stage yet. But we'll certainly be looking at that as a positive win for J&J at some point. And again, it's probably more of a trade than anything else. It'll gap up and probably worth a fade, even though I like Johnson & Johnson because they're not selling it for a profit, guys. I'm just looking at Mara, and again, we're testing the bottom in Bitcoin, and here's Mara, $1 away from that previous bottom. It had a similar thing before, and I had the idea that I was going to short it if we broke the low of the day on the spot. And I'm just going to take this 2075 break. This time, I had this short. It went. It faded. If it makes the same type of move, I'm going to scalp this out. If I get 30 or 40 cents, I will definitely scalp some of that profit out. And then if it tests higher and then rolls over again, and we're still looking weak in spot, yeah, then I'll just get back into the trade. So I don't want to walk away from Mara as fast as I did last time because it was a good shorting opportunity. But the first trade is going to be that scalp trade. If it gives me that same look again, I have to take the winner, which I did not do last time.
I mean, that's the thing about this crypto. Look, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much. We're at record likes right now. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Also, make sure you sign up for our morning movers note here. This gives you like everything that we're trading, all the hot stocks, Baidu, Neo's on here, NVIDIA. We had a $13 winner, $16 winner, on NVIDIA today as well. Twitter, we had a monster dollar win on that when we got out. Tesla's been moving around. We haven't looked at Gilead yet, and then there's that Mara that Neil was just talking about here with some of the blockchains, BTBT also, GBTC. I've been trading a little bit. Eli Lilly, there, LMFAO is on here as well. There's lots of stocks to go, including JP Morgan that we just did not, and we should have defended that bottom there. Huge missed opportunity right here off the bottom of 136. We should have hit that, just too distracted, and I wasn't in love with it, although we did talk about the ES. Much better shape than the NASDAQ right now, so that should have been an indicator to go long, just that alone.
Yeah, and here's, again, I still have that BNGO, of course. I talked about this. It's making another low. It's 530. You'll see me scalp out aggressively in the first end of this range when it was testing the previous low at 535. Now that it's finally broken it, I'm waiting until 520. I want a bigger move here. Maybe hang on to this and see how far it wants to go for the rest of the day. 5 even is the ultimate target. I will be all out if it gets there. Boeing's still holding that 205, so I don't think that trade's going to come in. Talking about Datadog here. And it's starting its rollover. It looks very, very strong. It's starting to feel like this could be a nice little pullback for it. I mean, the market, you just saw Sean talk about the market dipping back a little bit. So think about where some profit taking could happen. This is certainly a name that fits that bill. And it's giving a safer entry than I think Lemonade did, at least in my opinion, around this 106.50 to use like 107, 107.25 as your out, 75 cents worth of risk. Even if it doesn't go all the way to VWAP, from here you get like $1.50, 2 to 1, and that's at 105, whereas VWAP's down at 104, guys.
Whoops. Okay, so I had a bid here stuck. Not stuck, but I did have a bid here. It's small because it was an averaged in order here on Neo. So we did take a bid there at 63 as it comes crashing back down. So we do average into this place. We like it. I mean, this was a 63. We're just waiting for 62.80 to crack. So we are back long now, Neo, 63.09. Probably would have preferred it a little bit lower, but we'll take it. It was here from this order. So what we were going to do was, as it went up, I mean, that's why we take that profit. I mean, congratulations, anybody that did that. And now we're in the money again, another 10 cents. So, 5 cents, 63.09. Let's see, take some off here, 40s, if we can get it again. But I'm still doing the same thing, waiting to defend the 62.80. But Neo, 63.09. It's been just such a great stock for us and for me anyways today. I don't know if Neil's been, you had one.
I basically, it was that open trade, and then I'm like, sometimes I over trade it, and it's like you throw away the money
there
for the
it
morning.
is.
I'll look for an afternoon play on Neo 100%. This time there it is. Give the hot dog action.
Yeah, we got the hot dogs for that because Neo goes right up there again, and we just get out right away again. That's another 30-cent win for Neo. So the money's coming in on this, guys.
Yeah, and this time I said I would do it. I would scalp some of that trade off in Mara when it broke. So that's exactly what happened. It broke that 75, and you get a push to 31. I think we broke 31,000 in spot price. So I'm going to hang on for the rest of these shares. I scalped it to 2050. That's exactly what I didn't do this time. Now if it tests back up, I can reload at around 21, and then I can hold for maybe a 20 bottom if this move is going to continue any further, which it looks like it is in the spot price. 20 even fine, 19. I'm not going to be holding that long because to me, in and out of Mara, take advantage of the volume.
Where's my crypto kids out there? BTFD, buy the funny dip. there in crypto. I'm pretty sure that's what people will be doing on that name. So back to Neo, guys. This is why we hit the hot dogs. Now we'll do the backflip. We can hit the Mortal Kombat. We can hit the Street Fighter, whatever. I still issue challenges to everybody out there for Street Fighter as well. But look at this. In 63.09, out 63.30. A perfect, basically, trade for me there. And, you know, we can't be scalpers if we don't scalp. And there it is, man. It seems like this is a bad day, but, I mean, a lot of these stocks, in the NASDAQ especially, we're just kind of back to, like, where we were. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world on all this. We are, I mean, I'm not concerned, but there is a dip happening right now. And Brendan just talked, I think Neil actually just talked about crypto getting to spot 30, I guess, thousand there. What is that? I don't. Did you see it break?
It broke 31, but I didn't actually catch what the bottom was there.
So that's what it was. So yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you said it broke 30, but on this, again, this is the Kraken website. Exchange. All I did was just kind of like Google, crypto exchanges, and then got into this one. So we don't obviously recommend any of these, but I just want to show you that it is bouncing right now. That's BTC. So I don't know if you're out of that Mara or not, but it looks like it's bouncing.
Almost everything out of my, and this was the mistake before. It was like not having the conviction, because if you scalp it out, that gives you the conviction to get back in. So I'll scalp it here, and if we do still maintain this, like if it's a muted turn in spot, and I have a chart up as well that I'm watching on one of my other screens. You guys will see our layouts. You can't see half of mine. You know, I got some charts over here. I got what I'm showing you on the main screen, but I have a couple of monitors over here that you guys can't see that I'm also monitoring the spot price. Oh, TRXC, bad math, Neil. Oh, every now and then, and I should like revoke my. You cannot be a Waterloo grad and do bad math. That's just horrible. It's essentially a school up here in my alma mater. But I had one too many bids, and the last one was for too many shares on TRXC. I did mean to try to hold this trade down through this 165. I end up getting out and long for reasons that are stupid. Like I said, making a bit of a keystroke error. Now, I could jump back into the trade immediately, but if you look at this range, 165 up here to like 180, that 15 penny range, I like to be shorting in the 75 range to the top instead of just shorting the bottom. That wouldn't make a heck of a lot of sense, so I'm not going to compound that mistake by just shorting at a random price. I'll wait for it to come back up and play in my favor at 185, which still could be a bit of a break in the afternoon, but it would need volume to pick up as well for me to like this in TRXC. The top was certainly that 230. And I would still look for that to be a bit of a play if it ever gets there again. It's probably more of a breakout than anything else. This ZOM that I know a lot of you guys are watching, at some point when you show this much strength, look how long we're going sideways here. Maybe it rolls over, maybe it doesn't, but that $1 break, if it comes, is probably one I'm going to play in the afternoon, just given the strength that it's showing. Certainly I'm likely to short off of it at least once, but 100% that will be a reverse into the long. It just breaks $1 because it's just holding up so well. That's why I haven't been touching it, guys. It's just, I don't see where I'm shorting this at this point, unless it gets below 80 cents.
And again, like that's, to me, look, there's lots of value to the show, but like, to hear the reasoning that we have about getting in and out of certain plays or doing certain things with stocks, I mean, I think that's the unlimited value is just in that because, that's what we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to give you, our reasonings, why we're in stuff, why we're out of stuff, and then what the next play is for us. So please just, take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, that's the whole point. We're trying to give you guys reasons, let you understand why we're in trades, why we're out of trades, where we're holding these trades. Go ahead, sorry.
We're very close to 5,500 left.
Yeah, we are. Of course we are. Yeah, big time. And then that's what happens sometimes, guys, when you go, I can't go, we're not going to go perfect every day, but today we're damn close, as we're very, very close to going perfect on Twitter. Sorry, this is the only negative stock that we have today. So thank you for that 55K, and thanks, Neil, for bringing that out to all of our attention. I know everybody on the show thrilled to have you guys all on board. And then we don't even stop. So like in 10 minutes after the show is over, we're doing live to air again for any members. We're going to take questions and answers. We're going to give answers, hopefully give you guys answers to your questions. Sign up. We take them in order. We find the good ones. We answer them as much as we can. And hopefully if we didn't get to you last time, we'll get to you this time. But it's very, very popular. That's coming up. But today, Neil, Money, is what it's been. It's been a big day for us. We just scalped Neil back and forth there as well. A nice in at 63.09. We got out at 30 on that spike because we're like, you know what? We're not going to take that. And now Neil rips to the high side even more. So big time trading today. We're loving this day. We got some shout outs for Ride. That's Lordstown Motors. I know Brendan brought that to us earlier on, and I know some traders hit that in our chat. So thank you so much to that. Thank you so much to Brendan for bringing this name to everybody's attention as that keeps going to the high side. And I know we missed some. I don't know what that is. Is that 55K? We got to go to Valeria, but she's dancing like a maniac, so that's a good thing.
It'd be crazy if it was already 6. We just hit the 55, or we're basically right at it.
Attaboy.
I did this little reload in Mara, just watching a little consolidation on the upside here. If we break this like 20 to 25 area, a little bit higher, I'll just take this one off. There is a bit of a bounce happening. I thought maybe it would be at the 30,000, but maybe 31,000 is holding, and you missed the opportunity. But it is what it is. I still think the consolidation is going to be a good one for a short. That's why I got back in, but I will scalp some of it out. Taking that 20 cents or whatever it is has made a heck of a lot of sense in Mara, and then holding for a bigger move is going to be the plan, guys. So that's all I'm going to do here. I have a couple of other positions in that Datadog, which it's not doing a heck of a lot. We only have 5 minutes at the end of the show, but that's not the end of things, because as Sean has mentioned several times, and I'm excited for this because Sean and I have known Arun a very long time. You may have known Brendan as well. He's been trading for quite a bit, and he does appear on the show daily. You guys don't get to ask him any questions the same way we interact as much, so please take advantage of it. He's going to be joining. We're going to take a quick bathroom break, maybe grab a fresh water, which I should have done a long time ago because mine's been empty for an hour. And then come right back and answer all your questions here live. We'll all be there. We should have a heck of a lot of fun. Just ask us anything. It should be a good one there. But Datadog, I got the rollover short here. If it does, it is literally doing nothing. That could be a good sign for me because if it's not going up and it's consolidating and volume is dropping, the pullback usually is on.
Yeah. The pullback is on right now in a lot of these names. I did want to look at one of my favorite stocks to trade, and we had a monster winner. We were long this stock the other day at $360. Now Roku just monsters its way up and just like ignoring absolutely every value metric, PE ratios, everything. Roku says, see ya. So, I mean, I keep having these little thoughts here that a lot of these stocks are eventually just going to split. And I mean, I saw what, I'm trying to call up a day chart. I saw what happened. Like, see, still, this is the problem. We're still on Roku. This is the problem. When these stocks split, man, they go parabolic. So, I mean, if they announce a split coming to Roku, which I'm pretty sure they should, man, $415, like even if it's a split thing like 10 to 1 back down to 40, then you're going to get this thing going absolutely haywire. Roku, like this is what I mean. We were just long 360 a couple days ago. Ding, ding, ding. 414, Brendan.
Yeah, one of the few very, very strong today on the NASDAQ. I wanted to show you this one real quick as well. A little SPAC moving. CFII, they announced their deal going back a couple weeks or so ago. They announced this morning they're expanding said deal for the company that they're picking up and merging with to go public. So they're making the dollar value bigger, adding more shares to the size of the actual merger. So CFII, if you're wondering, is a SPAC. So positive news for that. It is earnings time, guys. We mentioned with Mark, big banks coming a little bit later in the week. No banks on this board, but a couple of names in the cannabis space.
Organic.
Organigram is on there, I guess. And what else? We'll see. I guess that's it right now for cannabis. But yeah, we'll check that out tomorrow. I mean, I'm very, very cautious of everything cannabis right now. Obviously, there's been some big, headwinds and tailwinds for that. And now with the Democrats stepping up, it looks to be a positive momentum forward on some of those cannabis names. So watch out for Tilray, ACB. You guys know that I'm in Grow Generation Brands. That's been a monster stock, but I don't need to tell you that. That's been a big one. So we'll watch out for Grow Generation tomorrow, and we'll watch out for OGI.
Yeah, I mean, that board, Albertson, sometimes there might be something there, but I sort of feel like you're waiting for some of the bigger names to come later in the week. You can't say enough about the banks when they do come through with their earnings. Personally, the JPMs and the Morgan Stanleys are probably going to be the safer plays, but certainly all of them are going to be worth the watch. A couple of things before we get out of here, guys. A few positions that are going to still be on. I just want to, if I can, go to, Shant already talked about Roku a little bit, but I just want to go back, sort of double down on that notion of Lordstown being a fantastic look. From Brendan, it is continuing its breakout. In fact, it just had a volume spike right now and broke through the high of the day. So that continues to be a fantastic look that Brendan gave all of you guys. One more thing we're going to do before we get out of here, and I can see on my screen, I have no idea what Valeria is about to say. But, you know what? It's because it was blocked by the camera. Let's go to Valeria and see what national date is.
Hey guys, what a great start of the week. We've got record number of viewers, record number of likes. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support a lot, and let's getting better each day together. And guys, join our live educational session Q&A right after the show. You can find the link on the live chat, on Twitter, and on the community page. And happy National Milk Day, everyone.
What day?
Milk.
Milk Day?
That was a poor choice.
Okay, well, there's a milk. Everyone loves milk, and welcome to National Milk Day, guys. And if you're not drinking milk, drink it ASAP. Normally, again, you know, I guess they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Thank you so much. Normally, we do all these members. I can't thank everybody enough right now, but we'll get them all tomorrow. Lots of members going crazy. Get ready to join us up. It's going to be fun, guys. In just a matter of 5-10 minutes, you'll see us all go and get ready to ask us some questions. Thank you for all the members. I can't simply mention you all, but they're just lining up here, Neil. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Brutus, we'll just keep going. Scott, R&R, Gabriel as well. We'll just keep going. Jared, thank you so much. Max Power, if I missed you, I apologize. But let's go. We're getting ready to go.
Did I see a Max Power?
We did.
God, I love that reference.
Yep.
Simpsons, because if you're our age, you probably watched Simpsons when it was coming on every Sunday live. Not that anyone does anymore. I have no idea. Wow, Ride is still going, Lordstown. Good for you. National Milk Day. I don't know what to say about that, except if that's your jam, go for it. I'm calling it National Neo Day because Neo is a gift that keeps on giving. This show and this community is also the gift that keeps on giving. Join us back in a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break and do that Q&A for you. But for the entire team, for Ms. V looking good in green, for my man Sean Katina, his Packers should probably win just like my Bills did, but that's later in the week. For Brendan, Lordstown, I should have just hit the buy when you mentioned the name. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. But hey, we're back.
Let's go.